In this video I will be showing you how to build an $18,000 a month lead generation agency in just 4 weeks with no case studies or any previous experience on lead generation. I'm here to make you a metric ton of cold hard cash with the stuff that I'm about to share. Before we get into the sauce, I want to show you a few screenshots and pictures just so you know that this stuff actually works. This picture here is a screenshot of a message that Joel, one of our coaching students, sent to me. As you can see, he closed his first client after 48 hours of launching his first cold email campaign. $7,500 starting fee and then $550 per qualified call. So that's going to be around $17,000 in performance fees in the next 3 months. Also, another message that Joel sent to us after 3 weeks of working with us. His main goal was to hit $25,000 a month. After 3 weeks, he was already at 15K and now he's around a bit over 20. Here's also a screenshot of the very first payment I ever received for my current lead generation agency. As you can see, on the 31st of December 2021, I got paid 1,240 euros to start working with my first client, which was exciting. And here is again a screenshot of my payments or bank statements on the third month of running my lead generation agency, and precisely 13,085 euros and 32 cents by the 31st of March of 2022. So that's gonna be 92 days after my first ever payment. So I went from 0 to 13K a month real quick with the stuff. Here's again another screenshot, and this is from May 30th to July 7th. I made 44,300 euros and 49 cents. So I went from in December making first 1,240 euros, then 3 months later 13K a month, and then a few months later 44K a month. I also want to show you that this stuff also covers the service delivery aspect and that we actually know how to get results for our clients. So here's an example screenshot of results we have generated for one of our clients. 17 qualified calls in just 6 days for a $25,000 digital marketing service. They made around 100K from these calls. Here's also a screenshot of our cold email campaign performance, averaging 19.1% reply rates. Just wanted to show you this so you actually know that I know what I'm talking about when I'm talking about cold email. Here's some screenshots from what Daniel has messaged into our Slack channel. Daniel basically went from working as a 9-to-5 sales rep to making over $15,000 a month with his lead generation agency in 16 weeks using our strategies. Right now, he has a few really crazy projects that he's gonna get paid like 20K a month for. So he's gonna make multiple 6 figures next year. Here's from Oliver, again, super awesome stuff. He basically tried to run a social media marketing agency for 2 years, never got really any results. His highest month was actually 1K. So he went from that to then making $17,000 in revenue in 35 days with his lead generation agency. And right now he has a waiting list of over 20 companies just waiting to work with him. I mean, he's working with like 6 clients right now, and every time when he wants to sign a new client, he just hits up the waiting list. Yo, John, I have a spot open. Do you want to take it? And then he just signs clients when he wants to. But yeah, he's closing 5K deals, getting results for his clients, just making a lot of money. Brian Burns, one of our students in the program, went from working a 9-to-5 sales job to making over $16,000 a month with his lead generation agency in 16 weeks. Here's also some screenshots what Wyatt Beamer has posted in our Slack channel. He actually was already running a lead generation agency. He had tried to do it for like 2 months, but he only had 1 client. He was making $500 a month, basically just losing money running his agency. So we started working together and he hit $10,000 a month in 16 weeks while working with us. Right now he works with 8-figure companies, one of the biggest companies in his industry. I want to make sure that you are in the right place. So who is this for? If you want to take control of your life and make $10,000 a month from anywhere in the world on your own terms by running a high quality B2B lead generation agency, then this is a great video for you to be in. Or if you are already running a lead generation agency, but you have trouble signing high paying clients and delivering results that make them jump up and down from excitement, then you're in the right place. If you're looking to run a lead generation agency, or you already run one and you're just struggling with picking a profitable niche where you can actually position yourself as an expert and only work with the cream of the crop clients, then stick around. I'm going to show you how you can do that. If you're stuck in the flywheel of charging low prices and working with low quality clients in your agency, then this is for you. I'm also going to show you how to fix that problem because it's super common to find yourself there. If you have bought lead generation agency courses or any agency courses in the past and they've really given you no value and you're looking for something precise that will give you exactly what you need to do to succeed, then this is for you. I'm gonna give you exactly just that. If you're signing clients but you have no idea how to deliver a good service that justifies what you're charging them, this is for you. If you can't deliver good services, even if you're a sick sales guy and you have a good offer that lets you charge high prices, it's not really a sustainable model because you can't really back those prices up with results that you're generating. If you work a job like a 9-to-5 job and you want to build a lead generation agency that will serve as a cash flow vehicle that allows you to quit your job and create freedom for yourself, then this is for you. That is a really common goal that people have, so I'm going to be talking a lot about that. If you feel like you suck at sales and you don't really have a consistent and reliable sales process to close people you speak with, this is for you. I'm going to give you that sales process here on this video. One of the most important things, if you're willing to trade time, effort, energy, attention, and focus on achieving whatever goals you may have for a lead generation agency, then this is for you. If you want to take advantage of the underlying lead generation problem that 63% of businesses struggle with, there's actually a study made by HubSpot that 63% of B2B companies right now in the world struggle with lead generation. And that is why running a lead generation agency is such a big opportunity. Because obviously, if 63% of the companies struggle with it and you can help them with it, you have a huge market that you can help. And if you want to get some financial security during these uncertain times, then stick around. Because obviously there's a bunch of crazy stuff happening in the world right now. There's wars, there's pandemic, there's talks about recession, there's just crypto is going up and down and sideways, at least right now when filming this video. So if you just want to get some security and make sure that you don't suffer from those things, then stick around. If you feel fed up investing money, time and effort in the new business opportunities while being afraid you'll never feel your potential and you get stuck living paycheck to paycheck for the rest of your life, then stick around. That's a really painful situation to be in and I want you to be there, so I'm gonna show you how to solve that. If you want to follow your passion and you know that you need a cash flowing asset first to make those dreams come true, then stick around. Because a lot of people, they want to do software or they want to do real estate or they want to do crypto and they want to do a lot of these cool things, but they just know that they need some kind of a cash flowing thing that makes them 10, 20, 30k a month every single month in the background so they can actually focus on those. And a service-based business, especially lead generation agency, is a perfect thing for that. A lot of people use lead generation agencies to have like a cash flow asset in the background because it's so easy to outsource and systemize. You just need a few people in it, so I'll show you how to do that as well. Also, if you have tried other business models like social media marketing agencies, dropshipping or affiliate marketing in the past, but you didn't see success you signed up for, then stick around because that's exactly what I have done. I have been through all of those things. I'll show you how to get away from that problem because I've had it. If you're afraid of letting your parents, friends or partner down because you fail in your business ventures and you suspect that there is an easier way to quote unquote make it in the online business game, you are completely right. Stick around, I'll show you. If you want to drive a G-Wagon or Lamborghini, stick around, you're in the right video. If you feel fed up with making excuses and bouncing to every new shiny object that really comes your way, stick around. A lot of people, they're trying to look for the one secret. Oh, this business model and this YouTube video and this course, and they just fucking go all over the place. It's never gonna work. So you need one really clear step-by-step plan that you can just execute. So I'm gonna give you that. If you want to build a sick lead generation agency, hire a team of A players and finally make those dreams come true, then stick around. And lastly, if you have spent the last month studying, buying courses, reading books, watching YouTube and just learning and you're finally ready to take action, then you are in the right video because I'm gonna show you how to do so and how you can actually start making money finally. Now that we have figured out who this video is for, I think it's equally as important to declare and determine who is this not for, because I just do not want you to waste time. Time is the most valuable asset in the planet, so if you find yourself from one of these things, then it's better for you to click off the video. First of all, if you're not humble enough to follow the instructions of people who know better than you and have done this successfully without questioning why you're doing it, then this is not for you. If like at every point that you're doing something you need to ask why should I do this, why would I do this, it's just gonna be a fucking mentally exhausting and draining process for you. So if that's you, it's better for you to do something else with your time right now. If you're just going to jump to the next shiny object or a business model a month from now, this is not for you. You actually need to commit into something. Pick a business model like a lead generation agency and just fucking go hard at it. And if you at every single month you're like, oh, maybe I try SMMA and maybe I try this and that, this and that, it's never gonna work. It's like just the truth. I have done it. I can speak from experience, it doesn't work. So if you're not ready to actually commit into one thing and stick with it, this video won't really help you. If you're not willing to dedicate the next 3 to 6 months of your life following this process with absolute focus, then this is not for you. And when I say absolute focus, I don't mean that you need to do 12 hours a day of work. Like, you can still be working 9 to 5 or be in high school or college or whatever the fuck you might be doing with your life. But with absolute focus, I again mean that you need to be committed into the process and not think about the plan C's and plan D's and plan E's. You just need to have this one plan, have a really clear step-by-step way to achieve your goals, and then just execute it every single time when you have some free time to do so. If you're going to quit at the first roadblock or obstacle, then this is not for you. Quit the video right now, because obviously whatever business you are building or whatever you are doing in your life, there's always going to be obstacles that you're going to find. Something doesn't work out as you were planning it to work out, and there's going to be this thing and there's going to be this thing, there's going to be some stress and all of that stuff. And if you can't really take that, and if you're just going to quit and surrender, then again, this won't help you, because those are just part of the game. If you're not willing to fail forward to become better and learn from your mistakes, this is not for you. If you're going to find excuses and blame your circumstances, justifying the fact that you're not successful yet, then this is not for you. Again, we need to acknowledge that there's no excuses that we can make. This process works if you just fucking execute it. If you're going to tell yourself that your niche sucks and offer sucks and all of that stuff sucks after sending 50 emails without getting no results, this is not for you. You need patience. It is not a quick get rich quick overnight thing. It's actually building a proper quality business that solves an actual problem in the market. That doesn't happen overnight. So if you're not ready to actually put in some work and patience, it's not going to be for you. If you're not willing to go above and beyond to serve your clients, provide them with best possible results, and just ensure that you deliver excellent service, this is not for you. Again, a big part of running a lead generation agency is the service delivery aspect. So if you're not ready to go the extra mile to make sure that your clients are happy, it won't really work out. It won't be a sustainable model to run. And last but not least, if you simply do not want it bad enough, then this is not for you. Because again, like I said, it's not going to be easy. You will have a clear step-by-step and you will know what to do, but you still need to put in the work. Here's the truth. You can build an $18,000 a month lead generation agency in the next 4 weeks if you have the correct information and follow the proper steps in the correct order. Unfortunately, far too many aspiring agency owners don't really understand the foundational pieces of building a lead generation agency. They might get one thing right, but they still miss the rest of the foundations and they get no results. They end up copy-pasting overused cold email templates, picking saturated niches that they don't even understand, and offering services that they can't even fulfill. So what I'll do in this video, I'll show you how I circumvented this problem for me, and at this point over 80 people and made building a lead generation agency a predictable and efficient process. Because here you can see these are the main foundational things in your lead generation agency: a strong niche, a strong offer, and a predictable client acquisition system. And with predictable client acquisition system, I mainly just mean method on how you can get calls, usually cold email, and a sales process. So if you only have one of these things, for example, if you only have a strong niche but you don't have a strong offer or a predictable way to get more clients, you have strong expertise in a specific niche from past ventures or career. So maybe you have had a 10-year career in software engineering, so you understand software engineering and software development really well. So you have a strong niche, but it's still really hard for you to make money since you can't get calls due to you having a bad client acquisition system and a bad offer. No one really wants to hop on a call with you because you don't have anything interesting to offer, and also you just can't get those calls because you suck at sending cold emails. And then let's say that you only have two things. So let's say you have a strong niche and you have a predictable client acquisition system, but you don't have a strong offer. What's going to happen is you clearly have an understanding of what the niche needs and the language that they speak because you have experience there. But because you don't have a strong offer, you have low prices, it's really hard to scale, and you have a low closing rates. So it doesn't really help even if you have a good cold email campaign and you know how to send cold emails. So you need all of three things. And then when you have all of these three things, you link them up and they actually work well with each other. That's when your agency scales, your clients get really good results, you have a waiting list of clients, and at that point $10,000 a month is really easy to achieve, and you will achieve way more, 15, 20, 30k a month when you have all of these three things. So I'm going to show you how to get these three things dialed in and actually working together. So if you don't know who I am, My name is Levi Erla, nice to meet you. And back in September 2021, I had 62 cents in my bank account and actually had to sell my iPad for $100 to get food. Here is the exact picture that I posted in the Facebook marketplace to sell it. And I had spent the last 5 years trying to build an online business that would give me the complete location and time freedom and just let me pursue my entrepreneurial side. I remember I wanted so bad to just be able to work on the business and do that full time. Like I didn't even care how much I would have to work. I just wanted to be able to do that. Back then I worked at different sales companies as a sales rep and also a team leader during that time. So I got my first sales job at the age of 14. And it turned out to be a great career path for me. It turned out to be really good in the end. And I wasn't naturally born salesperson either. I struggled a lot when starting. I was like actually one of the worst ones in the first few companies that I worked in. I was really fucking bad. But I stuck with it and I just kept grinding, doing overtime, learning from people better than me, and I managed to become really good at it. At the age of 17, I was already managing a 15-person sales team. We were selling B2C electricity contracts going door to door, which was fucking hardcore. It wasn't always fun. We were knocking doors through the winter, and since I lived in Finland back then, winters are really fucking cold there. And during this time, I always knew that I didn't want to take the traditional route of first studying in school, then getting a degree, working a 9 to 5 for my whole life, and then retiring at 65 while seeing all the others pursue their dreams around me. I just knew that I can't really do that. So building an online business was the only thing that made sense in my head. I spent my high school years working in sales and trying to build various online businesses, and I knew that I wouldn't go to college. I really didn't even care about high school at that point. And the only real education I can even be proud of is my education at the Reserve Officers School of Finland's military, where I graduated as a second lieutenant in military and strategic leadership. And here's actually the pic when I got promoted, and here's also a cool picture of me. I tried to run dropshipping stores, build a social media marketing agency, learn affiliate marketing, and just sell different low value services as a freelancer. And even though I saw some traction with some of these models, it wasn't what I signed up for. I knew that I needed more. With my social media marketing agency, I remember I had like a 6K a month, and I did some sales outsourcing. I made like 10K there like once or twice. I just had a bunch of these like random ventures. Usually all of them failed. Affiliate marketing, dropshipping store, like they never really made money. And I was just, for 5 years, I was fucking stuck in this loop of failing and failing and failing and failing. So after buying a lot of courses, watching endless amounts of YouTube videos, reading books for 5 years, and still not seeing any success, I was naturally really disappointed. I had spent all this time trying to find that one quote-unquote secret. I just needed that one real clear step-by-step framework that I could execute. Because if you don't really have a clear step-by-step framework to execute on, you're just like every single day you spend a lot of time and energy into wondering if is this the right thing to do this. And so when you have that one clear step-by-step thing that you already know that works, you can just fucking focus all your energy in executing that day after day after day, and you will get results so much faster because you can just focus on actually doing the work and not thinking how to do the work or should you even do it. But I still hadn't found it. I knew I needed to create it myself. I was fed up with making excuses. I was ready to take the hard route and learn to do it by myself from the ground up. So in September 2021, I joined a marketing agency as an outsourced sales consultant and decided to take matters into my own hand and run a series of experiments to get them leads, sales, and of course, just make the whole system profitable. I immediately started running cold emails and automated LinkedIn outreach campaigns for them. That was like, okay, I also did some cold calling, a bunch of that stuff, but that was like the highest leverage thing that I immediately started doing. And they were in a typical situation that many marketing agencies find themselves in. So first of all, they have no specific customer profile. They're just selling to everyone who's willing to pay them. Second of all, they have no idea what is their best service, so they're just offering everything. They have like 40 different services. They do ads and creative and blogs and writing and strategy, and they just do everything. And third of all, they have no predictable way to get new leads and clients, so they're just crossing their fingers and praying on the referral gods to bring in some new clients. So while we were building their outreach system, setting up the cold email campaigns, setting up the LinkedIn campaigns, we also started figuring out what is the best customer segment to focus on and what do we offer to them. And it was also the first time for me doing it properly, so it wasn't the perfect execution, but it worked really well. So here is a screenshot of their CRM system. You already saw this. As you can see, after the first few months of setting up the foundations and building a powerful outreach system, we started growing really fast. In December, I know that this isn't finished, but this month here is December, this month here is January. So in December 2021, we did 16,600 euros in new sales, and in January 2022, we did 88,800 euros in new sales. And that is an increase of 434% in new revenue between 1 month. It blew my mind. Tweaks that were, at the end of the day, super simple to execute. It had given this company a completely new direction. They knew exactly who they should sell to and what to actually sell to them. They also knew how they could get more of those clients predictably if they wanted to do so. Again, I saw a huge opportunity. So at the end of the December 2021, I decided to go out on my own and start my lead generation agency. And my strategy ended up working so well that in the brief period of only 6 months, I went from signing my first client on December 31st of 2021 to generating over $40,000 a month in June 2022, as showcased in the screenshots above. And I did this while being extremely profitable for agency standards. We had like 76% net margins. And I'm not sharing this to impress you, not trying to brag, but in 2022, I made over $350,000 in pure profit. I also traveled around the world, ate $1,000 dinners, and stayed at $5,000 a week hotels while just running my dream business. I've also been featured in national publications like Yahoo Finance, Business Insider, Bloomberg, Digital Journal, and MarketWatch, while building an online presence of over 30,000 loyal followers combined at this point. So yeah, again, not trying to brag, I just want you to see that this stuff can change your life really quickly. Because 2021 September, remember, I had to sell my fucking iPad because I had 62 cents in my bank account. So went from 0 to 100 real quick. On May 8th, I started posting results of my journey on Twitter and just sharing what I was learning. And naturally, a lot of people started messaging me asking for help in building a lead generation agency. They saw that I had something that worked really well, so everyone just started hitting me up. So at the beginning of July, I did plus 70 consultations to understand the biggest issues and how to create a framework to solve them. This is actually what my calendar looked like. I was just 12 hours a day, just sitting in my office, just taking consultation calls, just helping people, interviewing them, seeing like what they actually struggle with. I had a lot of amazing conversations with my followers and learned in depth the main problems and common bottlenecks that made it hard for people to succeed. And this leads us here. So I decided to help others and put together this document, which will lay out the exact steps you need to take in chronological order to replicate my success. So I'll go through the exact 5 steps and frameworks you need to execute to build a lead generation agency to $18,000 a month or beyond. You can scale this stuff really, really far. So what I'll do is first, I'll show you how to pick a niche and how to actually dial it in properly. Second of all, I'll show you how you can create a benefit-focused niche specific offer that matches your niche's awareness and sophistication levels. That's something that a lot of people fuck up with. Third of all, I'll show you how to build a funnel that connects your niche with your offer. Fourth thing, I'll show you how you can set up an outreach process and close clients. So basically how to do client acquisition. And fifth thing, what I'll show you is I'll show you how you can onboard your new clients and deliver them results. I want you to understand that I spent over 100 hours of writing this document, hundreds of hours coaching and interviewing our coaching clients, and over 5 years in the trenches to make this document happen. We have built over 80 lead generation agencies using these frameworks and concepts in the past 5 months. And now basically what I've done is I have just written down everything we have learned from the process and how to actually do it in the most efficient way and how you can do it also successfully. So please take this seriously. It can change your life. So don't fuck around with it. But yeah, let's begin. So the first thing that you need to do, picking a niche and dialing it in, because niche is one of the most critical parts of the process. If your niche is off, it doesn't really matter how well you execute the rest of the process. You basically need to think your agency as a car. The niche is the skeleton of the car, the blueprint. Without the blueprint, we won't know where to place the parts. And even if our parts are the highest possible quality, the car just won't function because they're in the fucking wrong places. So to understand the new and better way to do this, basically the way how we do this, we first have to understand the old way of picking a niche, how a lot of people teach it in social media, in YouTube, in courses, and why it actually doesn't fucking work. So the old way, it involves you picking a specific niche right off the bat and crossing your fingers like this without any actual data supporting the niche's profitability. You're just picking something super specific and hoping it's gonna work, because that's how everyone tells you to do this. However, this results in you just wasting a lot of time trying to make your niche work and understanding the niche. If the niche doesn't work, you return to square one once again and start the game with no feedback or data on the broader industry. So you pick something really specific and you hope it works, and after 6 months you realize that it doesn't work, so then you have to start from scratch again, close your eyes, throw that dart into the darkness and hope that you land on a profitable niche. Also, service delivery this way is extremely hard because you don't understand the niche from the foundational side. And these were just the exact things I dealt with when I started my first social media marketing agency back in the days, some years ago. And I had to learn the hard way that the only way to make this model sustainable is build your foundations right. I realized that the better way is to pick a broad niche based on your experience and advantages and speak to people directly inside the niche while collecting feedback, learning about the market and seeing what aspects of the niche are profitable and what are not, and then just using that feedback and data that you have gathered and dialing in the niche down step by step. So again, if you have a 10-year experience in software engineering and you are working with different software development agencies, you pick that really broad industry, you do a lot of volume, you take a lot of calls, you get feedback from there, you get data from there, and then you use that to exclude the unprofitable things in the niche and just double down in the most profitable aspects of the industry. And because you're doing things this way, results that you get is, first of all, you can find the service market fit in 1 to 3 months on average, while getting paid for learning and researching. So you're actually making money and signing clients while you're dialing in the niche. It will also take you way less time to sign your first client. After following this process, it took me 12 days to be exact. Third thing, sales calls become way easier because you understand the specific pain points that the niche is currently struggling with, and you can precisely describe them to prospects when you're on call, positioning you as an authority figure. Imagine, you understand the niche so well, you have talked to so many different people and you've excluded so many things and doubled down on so many things that you know exactly why some niche is easy to help with lead generation and why they have the biggest pain. Then when you're on a call with them, you can describe the problems that they're suffering from so precisely that they're like, fuck, this guy is clearly an expert in this topic. So it's impossible for them to not work with you. Service delivery also becomes streamlined because you're working with the same type of customer and solving the same problem every time. You can just do the things that worked with the previous customer and exclude the things that didn't work with them. So it's always getting better and better and better, and you're just getting better results, and it's also every single time it's going to be way easier. And because you're working with the same avatar every time and service delivery is streamlined, you'll just produce better results for your clients, so you get paid more, clients stick with you for a longer time, and you get amazing case studies. So because you produce better results for your clients, you collect better case studies, which will help you get more clients, charge higher prices, and have less churn. Because the more case studies you have, easier the agency game is gonna be. And want to know how I know? Because that is precisely what happened to me when I started doing things the new way. And I've also at this point, I've seen it happen countless times with others I work with, and it will happen to you also if you just follow this process. In conclusion, the key takeaways from this is starting with the broad niche and then dialing it in based on feedback and data leads to quicker service market fit. You don't waste time taking blind guesses at the niche, so you can make the rest of the process seamless, sign better clients, get better results, get better case studies, and charge higher prices. It's just gonna make your life fucking way easier when you go from broad and dial it in down the line. So, as I mentioned earlier, your agency is a car. It is a self-sustaining feedback loop. The machine, it just has a lot of different parts. So here you can see the 8 steps: niche, offer, funnel, lead generation, sales, onboarding, delivery, and scale. If you think about any business in the whole world, it has these 8 different steps. So what's at the beginning of the feedback loop affects the remaining parts of the equation. Meaning that if we screw up in the beginning of the feedback loop, so in the niche, all the feedback we get from the remaining parts of the machine will not be accurate. If you don't already have immense knowledge and understanding of the niche, it is impossible for you to know what the niche actually struggles with and how it needs to be solved. So when you start out broad, you can get data based on outreach campaigns, discovery calls, and client projects. And then after you have enough data and knowledge on the niche, you can exclude the unprofitable aspects and double down on its profitable elements. But yeah, so example of you fucking up here in the beginning of the feedback loop. So let's say that you have a 3% closing rate, which is really fucking bad because it should be at least 20. You might think that you suck at sales, maybe you do, or perhaps you didn't correctly niche down, or maybe your offer sucks, or maybe your funnel is not lighting up your prospects, just you don't really know what is fucking up because you didn't pick a good niche. And what a lot of people do at that point is they have a bad niche, so everything else is fucked up in their agency, so they're not closing. So what they do is they hire a sales coach or they take sales courses and they try to fix the problem by learning more sales, when they could just pick a better niche and they wouldn't have a sales problem. So each part of the car needs to be dialed in to have a properly functioning car. Each bottleneck needs to be addressed from the start to finish in the correct order. Otherwise, the data from everything that comes after may be inaccurate, causing you to make wrong decisions. You just stay stuck spinning your wheels because you're addressing the wrong problems. So questions that you might have. What if the niche I pick is already saturated? First of all, you don't have to stick with it forever. And second of all, saturation is mostly a myth and it only occurs when people are blasting the same message and same offer to the same group of people with the same cold email campaigns with the same messaging. So if you have great results and tweak your messaging, you're not going to have any issues. I'm going to show you also a little bit more on this later. Second of all, how do I pick the first broad niche? So what you do is you first write down your experiences, your interests and your advantages, and then you start piecing them together. It will be clear. You can think about your past jobs, things you have studied, or other business ventures you have tried to make work. And you probably understand something well enough to start working in that niche. So let's say that you have studied fucking accounting. It would be a perfect niche for you to get into. Finance, accounting, fintech, all of those things. Let's say that your experiences and interests and adventures looks something like this. So maybe you're experienced or interested in coding, gym and fitness, cats and Twitter, and some advantages that you have. You speak German, you have a good hairline, you have gone to a coding boot camp, and you can bench press 2 plates. So a lot of these things here don't really help us, but a lot of these also do. So software and coding here is a clear commonality. So I would immediately go for software development companies as the first niche. And also, since you speak German, it would make sense to go after the German market, since you can reach out to them in their native language and you'll stand out a lot this way because you're reaching out to all the cold emails and all the marketing material that you have is in German. So it resonates way better. And to ensure that we don't waste our time in a niche that would never work, we need to do like surface level research. So 4 questions that we need to get answered. Do they struggle with lead generation? So do software development companies in Germany, do they struggle with getting leads? Are there enough companies in that market? What are they doing right now for client acquisition? And are there any trends in the market we can take advantage of? So this way we will know a lot of stuff before we even start working with them. Of course, we'll also find a lot of information while doing outreach and taking discovery calls, but it's always really good to check a few of those variables. So here I have taken a screenshot from a prospecting tool called Apollo.io, and here we can see that 900 software development industry contacts in Germany are hiring for sales roles. So they are already looking for someone who's helping them to get more sales. How many of those do you think that would be interested in a service that helps them in the most challenging part of the B2B sales process, which is lead generation? Because if you think about it, most important part of the company is sales. Because if there's no sales, there's no clients, and there's no clients, there's no work and revenue. Hardest part of the sales process is the outreach and generating leads and calls. So if you can help them in the most hardest part of the most important process in their company, and they're already looking for someone who can help them with sales, that would be probably really fucking easy to get a client from these 900 companies. And then if we take away the hiring filters, we get over 29,000 leads that we can reach out to. So if you only get 0.01% of that contact pool as a client, you can make $10,000 a month realistically. If you get 3 of those as a client, 100% you can make 10K. We have one guy in the program who is making 10K from one software development company as a client because he understands it. So based on this research, we know that going after software development companies in Germany would be a great idea if, remember, only if you already have experienced the field of software and coding and you speak the native language. Otherwise the niche wouldn't make sense. You would have a lot of better niches that you would go after. Now, the activity number 2. What you need to do is create a benefit-focused niche specific offer. So if your agency is a car and your niche is the skeleton, then your offer is the core engine. To have a powerful core engine, your offer, we need to have the highest possible quality parts and also assemble them together in the correct order while ensuring that the engine fits into the car. It doesn't really matter if you have really high quality parts. If you don't put them in the right way together, it's never fucking gonna work. Without an irresistible offer, building a business will be an complete uphill battle. You're already competing with people selling the same service as you, so without a good offer, you're the same as all the other lead generation agencies out there. So, how do we equip our car with a powerful engine? So again, first, we need to understand the old way of creating a lead generation agency offer, actually the wrong way that you see taught a lot all over the internet, and why it doesn't actually fucking work. So the old way of creating an offer for a lead generation agency involves offering something really generic, for example 10 to 15 qualified sales calls every month that the prospect has seen 1,000 times. That offer can work, but it needs to be in the right market. So the old way of doing it is just taking this 10 to 15 qualified sales calls and just offering it to every single fucking market without actually understanding why that offer would work and why it wouldn't. Basically, in the old way, you have no edge. Firstly, you and every other Joe Smo in the game that has ever taken a lead generation agency course or scrolled Twitter for more than 15 minutes, their offer can be 10 to 15 qualified sales calls each month. Secondly, that's really not even an offer. As soon as you present yourself like this, you'll get labeled as a commodity. You're basically boxed with all the other lead generation agencies who present themselves in that same way. You are just 1 in 1,000. Nothing fucking special about you. And doing things this way results in, first of all, your messaging and offer doesn't resonate with your niche, so your outreach doesn't perform well and closing sales calls seems fucking impossible. Second of all, you can't charge high prices since you don't solve an actual problem, so you work for dirt cheap while doing way more work than you expected. So 10 to 15 qualified sales calls, for most niches out there, it doesn't actually solve a problem. Third of all, you have a low cash flow because your clients will see you as a commodity and churn regardless of how good of a job you do. So even if you're offering 10 to 15 qualified sales calls this month for a niche that doesn't really want that offer, even if you're getting really good results, they can find fucking 1,000 agencies, or not maybe 1,000, but 100 agencies that are offering the same exact thing for them. And fourth thing, you will be overwhelmed because you have no standardized operational procedure, given that you're offering different services and there's no established results. So again, one thing that a lot of people do is that they just fucking freestyle a lot in their offers and they can't really scale it and make SOPs for it. Basically, you have no unfair advantage. You're just a guy who sells a service and gets really poorly paid to do so. So that is why in the new way, we are creating an offer based on our niche's awareness and sophistication level and the most painful problem that you can solve with your vehicle, which in our case is called email. You get feedback from your niche on what they actually want and basically offer that transformation taken from their painful situation right now to their dreamland using the niche's exact language. So you get feedback, they tell you that, yeah, we want to solve this problem, we want to get into this situation, and they have the exact language patterns that they always use. You just take all of that information and use that in your offer. So your offer, again, it's really dynamic. It can change every single week if you're learning more about the niche. And not only that, your offer it in a specific time frame, increasing the perceived value of your offer in your prospect's head. Because again, if it happens in a specific time frame, it's fucking easier to understand. So it's more valuable. And last thing, on top of that, you remove all the risk by adding a guarantee that ensures if you don't deliver on the transformation, they won't lose anything, covering all possible objections in their head to make it easy for your prospects to justify your purchase. So in the new way, you are not a commodity, you are a premium. You get so involved in your niche that you know exactly what problems need solving. You offer an end result, basically a dreamland, and you also offer it in a specific time frame, the exact transformation they want in the exact time they want it in. And to ensure your niche understands your offer's value, you present your offer so it fits in their niche's awareness and sophistication level. So you block all of those high quality parts and piece them together. And because you do things this way, first of all, you can't be compared to the other agencies that provide lead generation, even if they are in the same niche. So you can't be competed with. Second of all, you know precisely the major pain points of your niche and how to solve them. So you become so valuable to each company that they can't afford to replace you. And that's how you get like really high retention, really high lifetime value. You have like really good upsells because they can't afford to get rid of you because they would lose so much money. Third thing, you can command way higher prices because the transformation you're offering has way higher value perception. Fourth thing, sales calls will become way easier because the offer is so enticing that they'll feel stupid if they say no. There's complete clarity on the process you'll put your clients through. Therefore, the expectations are set right and the clients are happier even though you're offering the same service. So again, if you set the expectations right and the time frames right, everything, even if you offer the same exact service and get the same exact results, because the expectations have been set correctly, they'll just be way more satisfied with the service that you're providing. Since you command higher prices, you don't need to work with as many clients to make more money. And last thing, it's a lot easier to acquire leads because the offer is better, and when you put it in front of people, they'll react more often and buy more frequently. So of course, if you have a better offer that resonates with a niche, you don't have to do as much outreach and sales calls because it's just a better offer, so people will buy it more often and they will also book way more calls from a cold outreach. So if the niche is the skeleton, the offer is the engine. The offer is the heart that pumps blood and oxygen in the rest of the body. Basically, the entire business is built upon it. When you have an irresistible offer, the remainder of the process flows very easily and naturally. It's basically choosing to have a smooth sailing rather than an uphill battle. So when the offer is good, you can still mess up in various aspects of the business and people will still buy. So let's say that you have a good niche and a good offer. You don't need to have an amazing funnel, or you don't need to be amazing at cold emails or amazing at sales, because people are so fucking interested in the offer, in the niche that you have, that you can get away with those things. We have seen the worst cold emails in the world work really well because they have just offered something really valuable for a niche that really struggles with the problem that the offer is solving. So if you nail down these beginning parts of feedback loop, it's gonna pay off so well. So if you go back to this, if you just simply nail these two first things, offer and niche, everything else will become disproportionately easier. So much so that you should allocate a lot of time and attention to making sure you nail both of these core aspects down. In conclusion, when your offer matches your niche's awareness and sophistication level, it will resonate way better with them and they'll immediately understand the value of your offer. They will also understand how it solves their most painful problem in the most efficient way, and because of that, outreach and sales calls will also be easier even if you have a 3 to 5 times higher price. And as a result of that, you'll no longer be considered a commodity. You are able to command higher prices, make sales calls easier, and ultimately you will just have much better experience in running your own business. For example, one of our students, Oliver, like I already told you in the beginning, he tried to run a social media marketing agency for 2 years. Record month was 1K. After then he made the decision to pivot to lead generation. He did that for like 2-3 months and wasn't getting any results for it. And the main problem that he had, it was his offer. He was basically offering something that everyone else was offering, so he was a complete commodity. He started working with us, we took his offer and we recrafted it so it matched his niche's actual pain point and desired end result, while making sure that we are wording his offer so it matches the niche's awareness levels. So what he did is he launched his new campaigns, booked 9 qualified meetings on the first day and scaled from 0 to 13,000 in 35 days. 5,000 euro deal signed plus meeting fee. Notice how the client lets Oliver to decide what he wants to charge after paying a 5,000 euro starting fee. This only happens when you are so valuable that the client doesn't really care about the small pricing details of your offer. They trust Oliver way more than they trust themselves on this topic, since he's offering a transformation instead of 10 to 15 qualified sales calls every month. So yeah, now you might be asking, first, Levi, what would an offer like this look like? So again, this depends a lot on the niche you specifically work in, what kind of companies you work with, and what you focus on while delivering your service. So there's a lot of different variables that take place there. But for example, if you work with US-based startup founders in the tech industry who have just raised a seed funding round, our offer could be: we help US-based seed stage tech startups achieve initial traction in your target market and scale to $6 million ARR using personalized cold outreach at scale. This could be our offer if this was our ICP. And why do I think that that would be a good offer to start off with? A company called Start Engine that helps startups raise capital, they reported in an article that startups should raise a seed round before they are at $3 million ARR. ARR basically means annual recurring revenue, so yearly revenue that tech companies use. So I would assume that a lot of startups are at this stage or below, so between like 1 to 3 million ARR. So after raising the seed round, the founder's biggest goal is to prove that there is attraction and demand for their product, and they just want to achieve the product market fit. So they want to have a product that actually people want to buy. That is the whole goal of that stage. So cold email lead generation would actually be the perfect service for this stage, since it is one of the cheapest ways to acquire new customers while getting a lot of data on different customer segments and messaging angles, because you can test different messages and different ICPs and targeting, and then you'll get like immediate feedback. Okay, this had this reply rate, this had this booking rate, this had this meeting book rate. So you would just be getting a lot of really valuable data while getting cheap customers. And of course, to be 100% sure on this, I would have to talk to 10 to 30 startup founders that are in this stage, and then modify the offer based on their feedback and validate it by working with a startup that has raised a seed round recently. So I would first need to interview a lot of people and make sure that the offer hits all the pain points and actually works for them. The second thing, I would actually have to do it and work with someone who fits that ICP, so I would actually know if it makes sense. So since before having a case study, showcasing those results that you have in your offer, it is just an educated guess, or in other words, a thesis. You just guess that something would work. So let's say I would sign a client who matches that criteria, and we'd see that their problem isn't getting traction in their target market, and it is actually finding the right market to focus on. So maybe they think that they have the right target market, but it actually isn't true. So maybe that is their biggest problem. So based on that feedback, I would change my offer so it would be focusing on that aspect. And also, let's say that I would help them to go from 2 million ARR to 3.5 million ARR. This is what I would change my offer to. So I would say we help US-based seed stage tech startups find the right market to focus on and scale from 2 million ARR to 3.5 million ARR using personalized cold outreach at scale. And just if you are wondering why I used 3.500.000 instead of 3.5 mil, just for the simple reason that the number seems bigger, even though it's exactly the same. So small marketing stuff. But yeah, so as you can see, you have this one offer, and then you work with someone, you see what is the actual things that you can get done. Going from 2 million to 3.5 million, you get a case study for it, and then that becomes your new offer. And then also, if you see that their problem isn't actually getting leads without using money on paid ads, and it's actually getting high quality leads, then you would change your offer to that. So it is always dynamic, and you need to be changing it every single time when you find out something that would work better. So testing. You also might be asking, what if people are already selling good offers in the niche? Then basically what you do is you differentiate yourself using a different mechanism, you change your messaging, or you change your angle. There are many ways to circumvent this. Saturation is a complete myth, and it only exists when you operate in commodity land. The key here is to be involved in the niche and talk to the people inside the niche as much as you possibly can. Take feedback, collect data on what they actually need and want. And this way your offer will always be a home run, since you're selling something that the people want to buy. And I know it sounds really simple, but a lot of people fuck up with this every single day. I see people, they're like, they have their ego and they have this great idea and they're like, oh, this is what I'm gonna sell. And then they start selling it, and no one really wants to buy it, but they just keep selling it because they don't want to be wrong and start from the beginning. When in fact, if you just change your offer and you started selling something else that the niche actually wants, you would probably make way more money. Also, you might be asking, how do I know which offers to sell? So if you didn't skip the first step and you have actually spoken to the people inside the niche, then you'll know exactly what to offer them. If not, you can just look at your competition's offer and see what pain points and desires they are targeting, and then you can just reverse engineer the process and create something better. So in the beginning, I just advise that you go with a generic, or in other words, quote unquote, surface level thesis offer that you use to book your discovery calls in your niche with. So for example, we'll help you make an extra 100K in the next 3 months using cold outreach or whatever. And you target it for the specific industry. So if you work with marketing agencies, you could talk about high paying brand clients. And then when you present your offer to your niche, you'll probably hear questions and statements like, actually, this thing has been easy for us, but the biggest struggle has been this thing, or it would be better if you did this thing instead of that thing, or do you also help with this and that thing, because we could need help with those things as well. So they give you more information in the discovery calls, and they're like, no, I don't want this, but could you also do this, and blah, 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 blah. So you take note of those questions and statements, and then you model your offer so it matches them, as long as it makes sense for you, of course. So if someone tells you that, yeah, actually, like, the problem isn't the quantity of the leads, it's actually the quality of the leads. So how do you make sure that the quality of the leads is good? So then clearly you need to model your offer based on getting quality leads and like qualified leads, and figure out the best offer for that, instead of that we will get you a high volume of those leads. So you just take that information and use that. Then you also might be asking, how do I know if my offer matches up my market sophistication level? First of all, I recommend reading Eugene Schwartz's book, Breakthrough Advertising. This book, really fucking crazy. I think you can probably just Google it and you'll find it. I recommend that you read that. In this book, he basically outlines the 5 stages of market sophistication and how you can identify the best level to place your product or service basically by understanding each stage. So what is market sophistication? It is the market level relative to your service, which is cold email lead generation in our case. So if the buyer is basically in a highly sophisticated, other words, matured market, it's going to be way harder to convince them with basic claims compared to a buyer who is relatively new and unexplored, basically in a less matured market. I don't know if that jumbo mumbo made sense, but here is basically a picture of the 5 different stages. So here you can basically see that the first level, birth of the market, just make any claim. Level 2, make the claim bigger than your competition. And in every single level, the market gets more matured and sophisticated. They hear the claim more and they get more used to it. So you need to always adapt it to match the level. So I'll show you how to do that. The simplest way also to find your market sophistication level is to just look at your competition and see what kind of claims they are using in their marketing. You'll also find it out by just taking a lot of discovery calls with the people in your market, since they'll immediately tell you if they have heard of your service and offer or if it's something entirely new for them. So you will just again get that feedback from the calls that you take. So if you are on level 1, your customers have never seen or heard about your service before. You're basically a pioneer, you have no competition, everyone is just blown away when getting presented with your offer, your cold emails work amazingly well, and you're just closing sales left and right. This is a really good place to be, as you can imagine, but this stage doesn't really last for long. When I started with my lead generation agency in the Finnish marketing agency space in 2021, I was basically in the situation. So like when I pitched my offer, people were like, what the fuck is this? So of course I had to sell like really educational stuff because people really didn't understand cold email, but it was a mind-blowing situation to be in. So after 3 months of being in the market, I started seeing a lot of people copying what I was doing, and now 13 months later, everyone has heard the basic claims in the same market. So this stage doesn't last for long. So if you find yourself in a situation where you clearly are on level 1, take advantage of it. It won't be this easy forever. Just fucking go super hard. At this stage, your marketing and sales are going to be easy. The market is unsaturated and completely fresh. So basically all you need to do is simple, straight to the point claim or an angle without any extra bells and whistles to get people interested in your offer. So for example, you can just make a claim saying, we generate more leads for a marketing agency. And people are like, what the fuck is that? It's crazy. Level 2, this basically means that others are picking up on what you're doing. They're basically seeing how well you're doing and they want a piece of the pie as well. You're no longer alone in the market. Others are creating alternative offers and starting to just compete with you. And because now your customers have alternative options to choose from, you need to expand your claim. You need to make it bigger, better, faster, or cheaper. So for example, we generate 10 qualified sales calls for a marketing agency every month. So again, this is a bit more precise, it's more valuable, and it's just a bigger claim. So then, at level 3, you're now competing with a lot of different competitors. Their offers and services are really similar to yours, and everyone is just trying to one-up their offer by making their claims faster and bigger. So they're fucking trying to make these crazy claims. Your market has been blasted with a bunch of unrealistic claims, and everyone is just getting skeptical about what you offer, even if your claims are the biggest in the market. So at this point, shouting louder no longer works. Your market has become like really sophisticated, and they recognize exaggerated claims, and they are not as easily influenced anymore. So you need to add credibility to your claims. You have to come up with basically a unique mechanism that no one else has. And also to keep in mind, the unique mechanism you present needs to be really logical. Your market is already skeptical about these claims, so if the unique mechanism doesn't make sense in their head, of course it won't work anymore at that point. So it can be, for example, software, a concept, a process, or invention, or it can be whatever the fuck. It just needs to be like a unique mechanism on how you get the results. So for example, we generate 10 qualified sales calls for a marketing agency every month using personalized video outreach. So personalized video outreach is the unique mechanism in the example above. So as you can see, we just add that in and it's again like, oh shit, we haven't heard about that before. At level 4, the market is extremely sophisticated. They have heard every big and fast claim and they have seen all sorts of different unique mechanisms your competitors have presented to their market, and they're just getting bombarded with something new on daily basis. We have this, we have this, we have this, boom, 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 boom. Now, at this point, to stand out from the crowd and show the market that your offer is the best and most logical option to go with, you need to do the same thing that you did when you went from level 1 to level 2. You need to expand your unique mechanism claim. It's not enough to have a unique mechanism anymore. It needs to be better than all the other unique mechanisms in the market. So basically at this point, the strongest unique mechanism wins the whole game. For example, we generate an extra $600,000 in new revenue for your marketing agency in the next 6 months by using AI-powered personalized video outreach at scale, or we will give you your money back. That is how we do it in level 4. And at level 5, the market is already filled with different versions of your offer. The buyers are extremely sophisticated to the marketing message out there and only respond to certain level of marketing, which is level 5. So at this stage, it's not about the idea or the service, it's about the experience and the emotional side. How does your market feel and what experiences does your service offer them that they can't get anywhere else? So for example, what you could say is, we will make you the coolest agency owner that everyone wants to have a lunch with in your next mastermind event. So if that's what your customers want and what they truly feel that they want, then that would be a perfect message to use. So as you can see, for your offer to work, you need to be matching the market's sophistication level. So if your messaging is at level 1, but your market is at level 4, there's so big of a gap that you will never find any resonance with your market. So this can only be done if you understand your market at a deep level. So while you are taking discovery calls and talking with people in the market about your lead generation services, take note of these things and adapt your offer and messaging accordingly. Okay, now I understand market sophistication, but what about market awareness? So again, here's 5 different stages. Again, from Eugene, from his book, Breakthrough Advertising. First stage is unaware. So basically this stage, the prospects are not aware of their desires or problem, or they won't honestly admit it. Second stage, problem aware. They are basically aware that they have a problem to solve, but they are not aware of specific solutions. Third thing, solution aware. They are aware that there is a solution to their problem, but they are not aware of the specific service providers and offers and all of that stuff. Fourth stage, they basically are aware of your product and they know that it exists, but they are not fully aware of what it does and how well it does it. And then in the last stage, most aware, they know what your product does, but they haven't bought it yet. So these are the 5 different stages that the market can be at. So if your customer is unaware that they have a problem and you're selling them to a product aware level, you'll miss the opportunity to get them as a customer. Of course, different prospects have different awareness levels if they're in the same market, but the key here is just to find the averages by talking to the niche and analyzing what stage the market is at. So for example, if your market is entirely unaware that they have a lead generation and a client acquisition problem, they won't buy your offer if you're selling them 10 to 15 qualified sales calls, because they don't fucking need it in their minds. Maybe it would be great for them to have those calls, but because they're not aware that they need those or that they even have a problem, why the fuck would they buy it? In a situation like this, you have 2 solid options to use if your market doesn't know that they have a lead generation problem. First, you can market to them with the ultimate end result first. For example, we'll generate an extra $300,000 in profit in the next 12 months or less for a marketing agency. So even if they're not aware that they have a problem, they'll probably be interested in hearing what you have to say, because that's a fucking bold ass claim, $300K in the next 12 months. Then when you get them on a call, you just need to educate them on the potential they are missing out on, since they are not using cold email for lead generation, and show that you are the best option to start using it. So you make a claim, I'll make you an extra $1 million in the next 24 months. They're like, oh shit, what is this? They hop on a call and you're like, okay, this is how we are gonna do it. This is how you are missing out because you're not using cold email. This is how much money you could be making with cold email, and this is why we are the best solution to start using cold email. Or you can take the educational approach immediately, which would be basically, hi John, if you're not using cold email for getting new clients, you're probably missing out on 100 to 300K in extra profit you could be generating. Would you be interested in seeing how? And with this approach, you first need need to show them why your claim is true logically. So you need to sell them the idea why cold email actually could make them the extra 300k. And then when you achieve that point, you can sell your service. So again, the key is to find out the market awareness as soon as possible by talking to the market and selling them in the right way. So in our case, when we are selling lead generation services for B2B companies, the main thing that we need to take into consideration is how aware they are of the potential and if they are doing outbound marketing before. The more traditional markets like accounting, IT management, or insurance companies, for example, are used to working solely based on referrals and networking events, and they are just getting their leads that way. They have done it for 30 years like that. So they won't really make the connection in their heads that more outreach means more sales calls, and more sales calls means more clients, and more clients mean more revenue. That is not an automatic connection that they're going to make in their heads. That is why selling a solution that is based on more outreach or sales calls, that is why it won't resonate with them. They don't automatically connect those things to more clients and more revenue. The location also has an effect on this. I've seen that some markets in different locations are not as up to date with the latest sales and marketing practices as others. So for example, North Europe market in general is 3 to 5 years behind compared to the market in the United States. That's why the same outreach messages and offers won't work there. Because for example, if US companies are really advanced in cold outreach and they know how it works, you can sell with them by just using your unique mechanism and making your unique mechanism better. And that just makes sense. They're like, oh shit, this is the best solution to use. It's a bit easier. You don't need to educate them as much. And then when you go to North Europe, you're like, shit, you don't really know about how powerful cold email is. So you need to use completely different messaging there to get any resonance. So this is what I mean when I talk about using positive feedback loops. You first talk to the market, then you get feedback on specific parts of your agency, which would, for example, be offer in this case. And then you loop back to the part and tweak it based on your feedback. So for example, here's an oversimplified version of it. You have your offer. Then you present that offer to the market. You send cold emails, you hop on sales calls. Then you get feedback on your offer in the calls and with your cold outreach. And then you make the tweak on the offer using that feedback. And then you have your new offer, you present that to the market, and you just repeat this loop. And then it's always dynamic. So when you keep doing it, and when you have gone through the feedback loop 10 times, you have a really fucking good offer that matches the exact pain that they want to solve in the exact time frame. You have the language covered, so you basically present the offer in the same language that they use. You use the same words and language patterns that they use. You match the market's awareness level, so you're selling it exactly how they need it sold to, so they understand it. And you also match the market sophistication level, so you have what it takes in the offer to get them interested on it. Activity number 3, building a funnel that connects your niche with the offer. So think of yourself going out on a date. You know that to get laid, you need to have game and be genuinely attractive, but you still dress nicely and come out with a introduction because you know that the first impressions matter. Your landing page and video sales letter are basically your outfits and your introduction. The purpose here is to just capture attention and get your prospect to listen, become aware of who you are, what you do, and potentially interested in what you have to offer. Now, in theory, you could still get laid without a fancy outfit and video introduction, but ultimately the number of times you do so will be way lower because from the get-go your dates will just think that you're a weirdo. So the old way of doing this is just having a landing page or a video sales letter that doesn't really answer the prospect question, and it is just basically a digital business card that you have made just to have it. Since your funnel doesn't answer the main questions that the prospect has in mind, basically what is this and why should I care, in an efficient way, you're not able to nurture prospects before you have a sales calls with them, so you have to explain your whole process and your whole offer from scratch without any authority. You'll miss out on 20 to 30% of calls you could be booking from your outreach, since your prospects have no way of getting their questions answered without replying their commoditized email. So for example, you send an email to someone, they're like, oh shit, this sounds interesting, but I want to learn more about them, but I don't want to reply to them immediately because I don't know that much about them. I'll go to their website, let's see if they provide those answers there, and then because you don't, they just fucking forget you and never reply to you. So you miss out on a lot of calls as well. You'll come off as untrustworthy, and prospects that would otherwise be a good fit won't have enough clarity about what you do and will get in the call very, very skeptical. So in a nutshell, you're basically the guy who just wastes a bunch of time cold approaching random girls on the street in hopes that you land one of the hundreds that you talk to. But the new way of building this funnel is building a simple landing page and a video sales letter with a clear headline answering the first questions in your prospect's head. basically what's in it for them. You create a video sales letter that explains the value of your offer and bridges the gap between your niche and your offer by providing clear value to your prospects while positioning your offer as the only viable solution to achieve their dream state. And every time you learn something new from your niche, understand it better, get a new case study or tweak your offer, you go back and you recreate your VSL. Again, it needs to be dynamic. What a lot of people do is they just fucking create one VSL and then they just stick with it forever, even though they're learning a lot of new things in the process, so they're just missing out again on a huge potential. This way, the video sales letter always becomes better and more accurate for the niche. And because you do things this way, the results that you get is when prospects book a call, they do it because they're legitimately interested in what you're offering. Prospects get full clarity on who you are, what you do, and how you can help them, which lowers the resistance and increases the likelihood of closing the deals. You'll get more booked calls without extra work because people who would otherwise not respond will check their landing page, watch the VSL, get more clarity, and be prompted. Your outreach campaigns perform way better since prospects that wouldn't be interested first get nurtured by a VSL and end up booking a call. So basically, in the old way, you're just a weirdo who cold approaches all day, and in the new way, you're the baller who pimps out his IG and lets all the high-level girls come to him. The new way, landing page and video sales letter will let your visitors know exactly who you are, who is this for, who is this not for, what you'll do for them, and how you'll do it. So when you get your landing page and VSL right, you're just bridging the gap between your niche and offer. You're taking a niche that has a certain awareness level, has a certain sophistication level, has a certain pain, and you connect that niche to your offer with your funnel, and you show that this is the perfect way to fix that problem. So it's basically the one place that you have the chance to tie them together and create messaging that resonates with your core audience. So let's fucking make sure that you do it right. Here, from the 8-step feedback loop, we are now in step 3. If we nail these 3 foundational pieces of our process, everything else will become a breeze. You could have bad scripts, bad sales skills, you could have a bad onboarding process, etc. But if you just put enough eyeballs on your funnel, it's only a matter of time until you convert someone. And because you have these 3 steps dialed in, you'll convert at a way higher percent. Key takeaways in conclusion: the funnel is the main communication bridge between you and your prospects. When your funnel is properly built, you won't waste as much time with tire kickers, and prospects will have the opportunity to know how you can help them before they even jump on a call with you. So you are just going to be in a better position. Because you speak with fewer tire kickers and more qualified prospects, you will be less burnt out and perform better in your calls. Again, the experience will just be way better for you. We've seen that if 2 agencies have the identical niche, offer, outreach method, sales process, and everything else is just same, but the agency that has a better funnel will have more calls booked in and close at a higher rate since the prospects are already pre-sold on the idea of working with the agency who just has a better funnel. So I have a demonstration here how it impacts this. So as you can see, even if agency A and agency B here have the exact same niche and offer, leads, cold email scripts, and closing rates, agency A will get double the results from the same amount of work. Because this happens when agency A sends cold emails to his prospects, the prospects check their landing page and watch their VSL, and because the prospects that would normally not book a call with the agency, they watch through the VSL, they get nurtured towards the idea of working with agency A, and they just end up booking a call. And because agency A gets double the amount of discovery calls booked, they'll close double the amount of clients. And also, normally the closing rate would be also higher due to the fact that the prospects are more nurtured toward agency A before the calls. In the situation of agency B, they might have other prospects that are interested in their offer based on their cold email, but still want more information before committing in the call with them. So the prospects go into agency B's landing page, can't get their questions answered, or they just won't have enough information presented in an engaging way, so they don't end up booking a call with agency B. So you just fucking need to have a good landing page and a good video sales letter. Now you might be wondering, Levi, what does a good funnel look like? So you might think that the funnel needs to be really fancy and have all kinds of bells and whistles to make it work, but that's completely untrue. The funnel just needs to provide the necessary information for the prospects in a simple way, and it needs to be simple so the prospects don't get overwhelmed immediately when they hop on the landing page. So here's a screenshot of one of the best performing landing pages I've seen from our coaching clients. Design itself isn't super pretty, but it has all the 3 main components. First, headline, connecting the niche with your offer, answering what's in it for them. Boom, this answers immediately what's in it for them. Second of all, they have video sales that are providing value to the prospects and breaking down how the offer works, who is it for, and why they should act now, and then also a button that prospects can click and book a call with. Oliver has right now over 20 companies on a waiting list to work with him. He has over 1.5% booking rates on his outbound campaigns. He closes over 50% closing rate on his demo calls, and he is making over $15,000 a month. So the landing page works amazingly well, and many of his prospects actually tell him that we watched your video on your website and it was amazing, we had to book a call with you. So it works really well for him. And since the landing page design is so simple, most of the heavy lifting happens in the video sales letter. So of course, if his video sales letter was terrible, the landing page would not work. So yeah, also you might be asking right now, okay Levi, I understand that video sales letter is a fucking important thing to have, but what do I say in my video sales letter? Great question. A good VSL can take weeks to create if you go all in it. Typically when we create video sales letter scripts for our clients and ourselves, we have this 15-page script template to build the VSL of it. So I'll just run you through the main components that you need to have there. So the main points that you need to have in your scripts are: first, niche specific headline, basically a hook. Then you need social proof or case study or case studies. Third thing, identification, who this is for. Then you need a background story and credibility. Who are you? Then you have a core concept. What is this? Then you have option 1 or option 2. Basically option 1, do it yourself. Option 2, work with us. Then you have benefits, you have features, you have a call to action, you have some urgency and scarcity, you have a bonus, you have a guarantee, you have a summary, and you have a call to action. It's the first thing, niche specific headline and hook. This is super important. Your prospects has landed on your landing page, and if it doesn't catch their attention quickly, they'll leave the site and they won't start watching the VSL. It needs to be targeted specifically for your niche, and it needs to be bold and big enough that someone gets interested enough to start watching. The better you know your niche, the better headline you can write. This truly hits their pain points, desires, dreams, or fears. Imagine you go to a landing page and it like speaks directly to you. It's like, this is how I will fix your biggest problem that you have in your personal life. Of course you will watch the video. So the structure that you can use is how to go from state 1, making 100k a month, to state 2, making 200k a month in time frame 6 months, using fucking personalized video outreach at scale without negative outcome that the niche has, without you having to go to any networking events or whatever. So for example, for B2B SaaS founders, how to go from $100,000 MRR to $300,000 MRR in 41 weeks using personalized video outreach without having to hire any SDRs. And then if down the line you find out that the biggest pain point in the niche isn't hiring the SDRs and it's in fact of relying on referrals for new sales, you could just change it to without having to rely on referrals. So again, the headline is dynamic like everything else. It's based on a feedback loop. You get feedback, you change the headline. Second thing that you need to have social proof / case studies. So at this point, you have made a really bold claim in your headline, and the prospect is just probably thinking, this is bullshit, what does this guy know about anything? They're just really skeptic. So you need to show them some social proof and case studies so they know that you're a credible source to learn from and listen to. Otherwise, they won't pay attention to their VSL content and everything else will be unless. If you have case studies, that's obviously great. You can just use the transformation you have been able to provide using this structure. Company X went from state 1 to state 2 in time frame after struggling with Z pain point. You don't have to go super in depth on these. You just need to quickly show them, what you're talking about. If you don't have case studies, there's nothing to worry about. You can use things like your own experience in the field from a career or studies. That's like what we use a lot. I have learned these things by working 10 years in software engineering. Or you can use awards or achievements you have gotten in the niche. Or you can use public case studies from others. So for example, you can find an article like this. I'll show you the article. 6 cold email case studies with great reply rates. You can find case studies from here. And then you can just say, this is the exact same strategy that Justin McGill, the founder of LeadFuse, used cold email to grow his company revenue to 30k a month in 12 months. And of course, it won't be as powerful, but it will completely get the job done in the beginning. Your main goal in this stage is to get your first case study and recreate your VSL using it. And you can also say things like, this strategy is built on what I've learned from working in companies like X, Y, and Z for the past 7 years in my career as a software developer. You just need some credibility that they know that, okay, this guy actually knows about the niche that he's talking about. Then third thing that you need to have is identification. So before you introduce the content of your sales letter, you need to call out the audience and identify with the prospect. And this is an important step to showcase the reviewers that they are in the right place and that you understand their situation. So for example, you could say, so if you're a B2B SaaS founder who has just raised a seed round and you're just looking to break that 3 million ARR mark before the year ends, then stick around. So they're like, oh shit, this is for me. This way also the lead quality will be better that you take calls with, since the leads that aren't qualified for it will just drop off at this stage because they see that it isn't for them. Then you will need to have your background story, credibility. So here you just need to answer the question, who are you and why are you talking about this? Here again, we just need to increase our credibility so the prospect listens to what you say and believes in what you're saying. Because again, if you are teaching about how to make things X, Y, and Z happen and no one believes that you're actually able to make those things happen, they won't really pay attention in your VSL. And here you can just use things like track record, achievements, schools, awards, career. Just quickly get them to know you a bit better. Tell who you are, where you're from, and why are you doing this. Fifth thing, you will have your core concept. So basically, what is this? Here you are basically presenting your mechanism. If you're selling cold email lead generation services, you just need to sell them the idea of why it works and how it works. If they don't buy into the mechanism you're using to deliver results, they will never buy your offer. So if they don't believe that cold email is able to fix their problems, they won't buy a cold email offer, of course. So based on your niche's awareness and sophistication levels, just educate them on why your mechanism is so powerful and how it works and why it works. You don't need to give like the exact step-by-step introduction for doing it. You can just give them like a high-level overview of what it is and why it works. And then if your market is high on the awareness and sophistication scale, you'll just need to come up with methods and strategies that they haven't seen before and show that this is the better way of getting results. Then you have the option 1 or option 2. So here you basically show them two alternatives. Option 1 is them doing it themselves or with another service provider, and then you compare it to for option 2 basically paying you to do it. You just need to have a logical point on why they should choose your offer instead of just doing it in-house. For example, you could say, now you can start building your own cold email systems in-house. However, you would need to spend thousands of dollars in tools, months in the learning, all the small nuances in the process, and spend 2 to 4 hours every day on managing the cold email campaigns. Or you can start working with us, we'll handle everything for you and start getting results in the next 2 weeks from starting. Really clear why option 2 is better. Then, benefits. Now you need to sell yourself a bit more. You need to paint a picture in their head of what happens if they work with you. So you don't want to focus on the features of the service just yet. You need to talk about the actual end benefits that they desire. A lot of people talk about the features immediately. We send 10,000 cold emails and we'll scrape your list, blah, 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 blah. At this point, they don't really care about it. You need to go with the benefits first. So for example, when you work with us, you will be able to go from 100,000 MRR to 300,000 MRR in 7 months. Grow so fast you'll be featured in the Inc. 5000, having investors reaching out to you daily since you clearly have a product with high demand, and focus on building a better team without having to focus on lead generation. Those are like dream states in their mind. You're just showing them how it will look like when you have worked with us for 7 months. And again, the better you understand the niche, the better you know what their actual dreams and desires are, and you're able to target them. If you know that every single tech founder wants to have a multi 8-figure exit, one of your benefits could be you will be able to exit your company for 8 figures, if that's part of your offer. Remember, you are a bridge between their painful stage now and the dreamland that they want to be in. Then, finally, you can present your features of your offer. Your features need to make sense based on what you have explained in the core concepts of your VSL. You basically need to show them that your features make it easier, faster, or cheaper to use the mechanism. So if you have sold the idea of using cold email or personalized AI, cold email, or whatever the fuck the mechanism that you're selling, your features needs to be things that help them use that mechanism for cheaper, easier, faster, or better. And also make sure that you give a monetary value to all your features and stack value of your offer. So you're like, oh, you will be able to get this feature, this is worth 5k if you buy it alone, but it's included in the package. If you don't give them like a financial value, it will be really hard for them to grasp how valuable it actually is. 9th, call to action. Now you've shown them everything you need to show them to get sold on a mechanism, plus prove that the best option for getting results with the mechanism is by working with you. So you just need to answer the simple question on how to get this. So you want to make a call to action. So if you're interested in seeing how we can use the system for your company, click the button below and book a 30-minute discovery call session for us. Really simple. Urgency and scarcity. Now they need a reason to act right now instead of putting it to the side and coming back to it later. Because of course everyone just, yeah, I'll check this later, boom, 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 boom. You need to give them a reason why it's important that they act now. For example, if you only work with a certain number of clients at once, or if you plan to increase your prices, let them know about it here. Also make sure that it's real. Fake urgency and scarcity will always come back and do more damage than good. You never want to lie to your prospects. That's the fucking worst thing that you can do. But yeah, we are planning to increase prices on 6th of July, and we only work with 3 companies every single month or whatever it might be. So just give them a reason why they need to act right now. Then bonus. If your offer has a bonus, bring it up now. Some extra things that they get if they book a call with you right now. This gives more urgency and pushes them to take advantage of the opportunity now. For example, it could be 5 free sales calls or free done for use setup after you stop working together, or whatever it might be. Just give it like a nice bonus, also give it value. This is worth 5k. Guarantee they might be thinking at this point in their head, what if I hop on a call, get sold something and won't get these results? Take away the risk by presenting your guarantee and making it a no-brainer option to hop on a call. Then just summarize everything, all the info that you just gave them, and make a new call to action, and boom, you have a sick VSL script. You also might be asking, how long should my video sales letter be? It doesn't really matter as long as it is interesting. If you're teaching someone valuable information they have never heard before and they truly believe it can change their business, they will listen. So the length doesn't matter. Long form works better than short form, so usually the longer the better. How do I record my video sales letter? Here you don't want to go too crazy on like movie production level, because you will be going back to the VSL and changing it often. So if every single VSL takes you 3 weeks to create and $1,000, it's not going to be really sustainable. So just make it really simple. You can either make a Google document, record it like this, use Loom for it, or you can make a slideshow and do the same. Just keep it really simple so you are able to bang out those new VSLs every time when needed. Do I need to show my face? Not really necessary, but there isn't really a reason why you wouldn't do it. Of course, you might be shy in the beginning and you don't feel comfortable on camera, but it's perfect time now to get over the fear, because having your face on the VSL makes it just easier for the prospects to connect with you, and they will already feel familiar with you when they hop on a call with you. Like if you want to run a business, you have to show your face at some stage, so just get over the fear immediately, hop on camera. What language should my VSL be in? It should be in the same language that your prospect speaks. If you're working with German companies, just make the VSL script and record it in German. And what software do I use to create my landing page? Use card.co. It's $19 a year, simple to learn and use. So now we are on the activity step 4. So basically setting up an outreach process and closing some clients. So if our niche is our skeleton, the offer is our engine, our landing page and VSL is the design that connects the two, then our outreach process is our wheels. It basically is what takes us where we want to go. It is literally what makes the business come to life or death. This means that if you suck at acquiring new clients, you will have no business running. Luckily for you, I have been selling since I was 14, trained over 100 sales rep, ran my own sales outsourcing agency, and generated hundreds of thousands of dollars in lead generation agency contracts. So I will just walk you through the exact framework I used to do it. But first, we just need to understand why this is so important. Because if you go back to our dating example, you could be the highest value guy in the world, but if you're not around girls, what are the chances that you'll get any? Very low. This is the same concept. We must put our landing page, our offer, our VSL in front of as many eyes as possible. And there's of course right and a wrong way to do this. In the wrong and the old way, you try to do everything at once. You use different outreach channels at the same time, send some emails, some DMs, you do some calls and throw some money on the ad and you just knock some doors, you do everything. Worse than that, not only do you spread yourself too thin, you don't even know what works, so you're just sending bunch of messages off the cuff, not really knowing if they're effective or not, and you're just crossing your fingers again and hoping someone's gonna respond. And if someone ends up responding and booking a call, you book 30-minute sales calls with them without any structure or plan for the call, and you just try to close them immediately while time's running out. So you're just operating under time running out, sheer stress. As a result of doing things this way, you'll have way lower reply rates and booking rates. You have a lot of reluctancy and anxiety when doing outreach because you're in the feedback loop of bad results. You'll have low closing rates and have to use high pressure tactics to close deals out of desperation. A majority of your calls and emails end up without a clear set of next steps and I need to think about it, or I'll get back to you answers, leaving you in a limbo. And because of this, you create an endless follow-up pipeline where you are just constantly checking with uninterested and undecided prospects who are just blatantly ignoring you, or worse off, keeping you on your toes with false promises and constantly pushing back on decision. You have no predictable system that generates clients on demand. You sign clients you shouldn't because you'll take anything that you can. You spend all your time just spinning your wheels and everything is just fucking miserable. And because of that, this is where most people quit, because it legitimately feels like you are throwing everything at the wall and trying to see what sticks. Tying to our dating example, you're basically cold approaching every single girl everywhere, regardless on how pretty they look, without any decent lines or looks, and with extremely awkward social skills. And you think that there's something wrong with you because you can't help but feel like you're just constantly ramming against a wall pointlessly. of course, it's going to be really fucking unmotivating. In the new way, you focus on one acquisition channel, which is cold email, and you use really basic structures while testing one variable at a time to make sure you find the winning combination as fast as possible. And then when the winning combination has been found, you just scale that one campaign, and on the side you test secondary options to make sure if the one campaign stops working, you have something on the side that also works. And when you book calls, you split your sales process into 2 calls. This is like an example of it. First you do cold emails targeted to your niche, you have your funnel, so those book you calls, you do 30-minute discovery calls, if they are qualified you move them into demo calls, and then you close the prospects and start onboarding. You basically have a clear structure for both calls, you disqualify hard and only move the highest quality prospects in the second demo call. And before booking the second call, you ensure every decision maker is attending the second call and ready to make decisions on that call. So you explain them. Yo, John, do we need someone else to be in that call so we can make the decision? No. Okay, perfect. Are you ready to make a decision on demo call? Yes. Boom. That way you're just able to get faster decisions and disqualify people a lot quicker. And as a result of doing things this way, you'll have way more time to focus on activities that grow the business. You jump on the phone with higher quality leads that are interested in what you're offering. Instead of operating from a state of scarcity, you're operating from a state of abundance, signing only the most high quality clients while charging premium prices. You create an acquisition systems that brings in consistent and predictable leads and revenue. You have a way more streamlined process that will allow you to scale with ease. You have a clean pipeline of people who are already either made up their minds or have agreed to do so in your time frame. You frame yourself as the one who has the medicine they need, meaning that even if you have a similar offer to your competitors, your level of competence decommodizes you. You have a way higher closing rate. The clients you sign end up being great clients because they quickly decided to fix their problem and you're the right person to make it happen. You don't waste time talking to people that were never going to buy to begin with, and most of all, you don't chase prospects around because the moment they decide to avoid your rules, they will get removed from your pipeline. You just save a lot of time and energy and only end up working with people who are right fit for you, and you create these win-win situations and just deliver much better results. And when you have that figured out, it truly becomes a number game. Using these 4 pieces of the puzzle, I could just end this document right now here, and all you would need to do is execute and you would get fucking good results. Enough emails sent, enough eyeballs on your offer, enough traffic in your funnel, and it's only a matter of time until you are at $18,000 a month. That is just a fact. So, key takeaways, what can we learn from this? The acquisition system is what brings oxygen to the business. You could have the perfect niche, the perfect funnel, the perfect offer, but without driving any traffic to it and then converting it, none of that will matter. So by leveraging one lead generation channel, cold email, you can validate your messaging and process way faster and get traction and better results faster, jump on the phone with higher quality leads and have an overall better sales process. You will be able to charge more and you will be able to scale with ease because the most significant component of your entire business machine will be just systemized from the get-go. But yeah, from the hundreds of thousands of emails we have sent, we have been able to find commonalities between all the winning campaigns, and just based on that data, we have created a simple and powerful framework that we have validated with over 8 lead generation agency owners at this point. We have literally seen people hop in, launch their first campaigns, and book 20 calls in the first 10 days of starting outreach. And here, like for example, what Emil said, 10 calls booked for the first week after launching campaigns. First follow-up just kicked in and got 40 new replies in less than 2 hours, and he closed 2 clients from these 10 calls. Like, it's fast when you have it right. And also by splitting your sales process into 2 calls with a heavy focus on disqualifying and holding the frame, you'll just close more deals, spend less time doing so, and only sign the high quality clients that you can get results for. So since you have dialed niche and offer and funnel, you can clearly identify and qualify the people you want to target and work with. And also by educating our email campaigns, we educate the problems and give them a sense of urgency that they need to act now. As a result of that, when the prospect jumps on a call with you, they will already be heavily interested in what you're offering. So sales calls will be just fucking easy. Your offer is a no-brainer and you have already explained the value of your offer with your funnel. Also, one thing to realize, you won't close deals because of the exact words you say. You will close deals by making sure you're moving the prospects to the end goal, basically happy paying customers, in the most efficient way possible while overcoming all the possible objections before they even come up. Like a lot of people, they're focusing on like scripts and like, this is the exact word that I'm going to use here and I'm going to say hi, not hello or whatever. It doesn't really matter. No one is going to buy because of those exact words that you said. It's going to be the whole concept of it. Because if you need to focus on reading scripts, you will never be able to connect with the prospect and solve their problems with authority, since you will be so focused on the fucking script itself. So it's gonna be just working against you. So with this model, we have been able to take complete beginners and get them to close 40 to 60% of their first calls immediately. For example, Joel used the 2-call sales process and closed a $10 million a year company on the first week after launching his campaigns. Now you might be asking, what do I write in my cold emails? Biggest beginner mistake I see here is focusing too much on the exact words and structures. Because if you're not booking calls and getting replies to your emails, you probably think it is because of your cold emails and the script itself. But that's usually not the case. Of course, you can get like a 5 to 20% increase in your results based on the scripts that you use, but most of the heavy lifting comes from the first 3 steps of the feedback loop. So the niche, offer, and the funnel. If you are reaching out to the niche with an offer that they don't want, and your funnel doesn't connect your niche with the offer, it does not really matter what you say in your cold emails. You're just simply selling something that nobody wants to buy. You will get better results by going back to the foundations and tweaking them until you find service market fit. And service market fit basically just means that you have a service that the market actually wants and they are communicated perfectly so they understand it. For the actual script writing, we use a simple 3-step structure for 95% of the campaigns we write. And it's basically first personalization, then offer/case study, and then call to action. If you break it down, personalization, you don't want to use unique personalized lines for every lead that you reach out to. It is just simply really fucking inefficient. If you need to spend $500 and 2 days on personalized lines for every campaign that you'll start, you will move way too slowly. Because you need to be launching these new campaigns, you need to be able to like take an idea, take an angle, and launch the campaign the next day with like 1,000 leads in it without you having to like invest a lot of money into the personalized lines and just creating everything. And we have also split tested the difference between unique personalized lines and then generic personalized lines that I'm going to show you in a second. And the difference is like close to nothing. Of course, if you have a script, an offer, and a niche and funnel, and they all work amazingly well, it doesn't really hurt to test out the unique personalization, but in the beginning it doesn't really make sense. But yeah, what you basically do is you're going to aggregate a list of people with something in common. For example, you could build a list of potential clients who have their business in a specific country. For example, Norway. And if we just do a quick Google search, you can find that Norway has 2 versions of its language that people use in different parts of the country. So you could start your email by saying, "Hi John, I didn't know if I should reach out to you in Bokmål or Nynorsk, so I decided to go with old and reliable English." That just shows that you have done some research on the country and is still somewhat personalized. They're like, "Oh fuck, this can never be automated. This was so funny first line." And then you can just use that first line and reach out to every single company in Norway. Then the offer/case study. This is basically the meat of your cold emails. This is where you'll have to come up with different angles and test which ones are resonating the most with your niche. One template that we, for example, use is the ICP plus the offer plus time frame plus guarantee. So I'm contacting you since we actually help, then the ICP, IT startups like you to, then the offer, generate an extra 130,000 in top line revenue in time frame 11 months with guarantee 100% performance based model. And then you can just tweak all of these small variables and see like what time frames and what offers and what guarantees work the best. And you can also, if you have a case study, you can just use, I'm contacting you since we just helped company X generate an extra 132,000 in new top line revenue in 11 months with a 100% performance based model. It also is going to work really well. And that you can also use that for clients. If they don't really know what their offer is, just take their case studies and use that as an offer. Case studies in general work better, but the difference again is super small. The main difference makers is actually the offer and the niche. We have seen really bad cold emails perform amazingly well because the offer was just so good and it was targeted perfectly for the niche. And then the last thing that you will have is clear call to action at the end of the email, so they know what should they do if they are interested on it. So it should be really easy to reply to and how low commitment, usually like a yes or no question. And the goal of the first CTA is just to get the conversation going. So for example, you could just say, "Can I send you more information on this?" Super easy, yes or no, really easy to reply to and really low commitment. So you will get a higher reply rate that way. And then when you have the conversation opened and they have already engaged to you and replied to you, then you can give them more information and book a call with them. So you also might be asking, what are good metrics to aim for in cold email campaigns? Depends a lot on the niche, but good rule of thumb is 60% open rate. If you can't get 60% open rates on your cold emails, you probably have a deliverability issue, your lists are poor quality, or your subject line is bad. Usually it is list quality or deliverability. Subject line doesn't really affect it that much. Then 5% reply rate. If you're not getting 5% replies, your offer probably isn't exciting, or you're just targeting the wrong title in your niche. So maybe you shouldn't be targeting CEOs, maybe you should be targeting CMOs. And also your CTA might be too hard. Booking rate, if you're not hitting 0.5% booking rate, your offer in most cases isn't interesting enough that they would hop on a call with you. This in most cases just means that your market sophistication and awareness levels are higher than your messaging. Or you might have an inefficiencies in your inbox management process and you're not following up with the prospects enough. So if someone gives you a positive reply, just follow up with them until they give you a yes or no answer. You also might be asking, what softwares to use for getting leads and sending emails? For sending emails, we use instantly.ai, and for building lead lists, we use Apollo.io or just scrape LinkedIn sales navigators. Just test out different ones and what works best for your niche. There's like unlimited strategies. We have tried out like 30 different strategies, but usually there's like one or two good ones that work for your niche. So for example, if you work with tech startups, Crunchbase probably is the best one, etc. What about GDPR? We have actually spent a lot of money and time talking with lawyers and researching laws on this topic. You can just do a really quick Google search on cold email GDPR laws if needed. It's basically super easy to follow the guidelines and not break any GDPR laws while sending cold emails. We have sent over 2 million emails in Europe in the past 12 months and we have never had any issues with any laws. How many times should I follow up? It depends on which stage the prospect is on. If it's completely cold and they have never replied to you, 4 to 6 follow-ups in spread over 3 months is perfect. That's what we have seen. Make sure that you have follow-ups because we have seen that around 70 to 80% of the results that we get from cold emails come from the follow-ups. And if they have shown interested in your offer previously, so they have told you that, yeah, sure, send more information, then follow up with them until they give you a clear yes or no answer. Sometimes we have had to follow up with someone 30 times over 7 months to get a reply and call up with them. What if I don't have any sales experience? Completely normal state to be in when building your agency. Good news is that you don't really need any. If you build your foundations right and your VSL is written right, sales is basically the easy part of the process. And also just the best way to learn sales is by actually doing sales. So hop on calls with prospects, you'll learn a lot. And also if you want to go the extra mile, you can just do one-on-one role play calls with your friends or family members or business partner, whatever. But you learn sales by doing sales, and it's gonna actually be easy if you have a good niche offer and funnel. What if my English is bad? Also a really common thing that I hear. Truth really is that it doesn't matter. You can use this as an excuse for your poor results, but it won't really take you far. I'm from Finland, you can probably hear it from my accent, and we are famous for speaking really bad English, also known as rally English. When I started off, I spoke really bad English. And remember that the most commonly spoken language in the world is bad English. You have to jump on calls and you learn. Also by just doing practice calls alone or one-on-one role play with someone, you'll be able to get more comfortable with speaking English. Most people don't really care about it. It's all in your head. Like I have never heard of someone losing a sale because they don't speak the perfect English. And last thing that you might be asking is, I get anxious and nervous when I think about taking sales calls. Again, completely normal situation. Call reluctancy is a byproduct of having an unclear sales process, but now you have one. 2 calls, discovery and demo. Build your overall framework based on what I have just walked you through and create your scripts. You'll have a lot more confidence then. And when I say scripts, I mean basically like the main frameworks. What questions do I want to ask? If you're ready to do things that the majority of people are not willing to do, you'll reap the rewards that most people will never get. Use this as a motivation. Most people won't be ready to jump on a sales call, so they won't get the results that you will get when you jump on them. Then we have the last step, activity number 5. Onboard your new clients and deliver them results. So without a solid onboarding process, clients will be left confused, without clarity, and they will be feeling buyer's remorse. This is a surefire way to ensure that they churn a couple of months into working with you. So this is why onboarding and service delivery is the most critical part of your entire business. If you can generate good results for people, regardless of what you do, you will always make a lot of money. That is just a fact. It's also why people have to rely so much on marketing. If you were the absolute best at what you do, would you have to do any marketing? You could probably just do fine without it and would serve simply as an amplifier to expand your already existing massive results. Like for example, in our own agency, like after 3-4 months, we would have to stop like sending cold emails because we couldn't take more clients. And then when we wanted to amplify the results a bit, then we started doing it again. In the old way, of onboarding your clients and getting the results, you just sign a client and start freestyling on the next steps without a systematic and predictable plan to get results for them. You just send an invoice, craft a quick contract, send an onboarding form, and just start fucking building everything out for them without a clear like step-by-step process. And because your onboarding process is unclear and doesn't set you up for success, you end up having to freestyle your service delivery. I'm sure that you have been there. You sign a client, you're ecstatic, but now you actually have some work to do. You actually need to get some results. And you're panicking because you have just watched a course or some YouTube videos and you're just freestyling the entire process. And you're asking yourself questions like, what do they even offer? Why is writing this email so hard? What lead should I scrape? Like you just have so much unclarity because you haven't onboarded them the correct way and you don't have the correct framework for delivering results. And this is a great way to ensure you deliver subpar results and stay in the flywheel of always having to acquire new clients. It's basically a coin flip. Every time when you sign a client, you're not 100% sure that you will get them results. You're like flipping a coin and hoping that you will get them results. Because you do this, your clients will have an unclear and bad onboarding process. They will get buyer's remorse and you won't have good enough foundations from the onboarding to actually get them any results. So clients end up asking for results and are just pain in the ass to work with. You can't give out any good guarantees since you're not sure if you deliver good results. They have wrong expectations about working with you and get disappointed and churn no matter what results you get them. Because they get bad results, you're mad, they want their money back, and you're ashamed to jump on weak calls with them because you feel like a fucking scammer. You have a negative word of mouth working against you. Doors that were otherwise open will shut down over time. And you're just losing a huge amount of revenue since you're not getting paid your performance fees. So like if you're working on a pay-per-call model, of course you will just lose on tens and hundreds of thousands of dollars in the long run because you're not getting results. So that is why this is the most critical part of the business, because the amount of money you make is directly correlated to the amount of social proof you have and how much money you make for others. That is just a fact. So in the new way, you have a clear and well-structured onboarding process, structured as efficiently as possible. You know exactly what you're going to do every single day and doing every single step in the onboarding process. And also the great thing here is with cold email lead generation, the process is so simple. When we audit our client campaigns and they are not working, the problems are always the same. So you build a troubleshooting SOP to ensure if anything goes wrong, you know how to fix the situation. You have a clear system for delivering results that you have dialed into repetition and data, and everything will just be fucking way easier. I know that in our agency, if we have some campaigns working, we can just open a Notion page for a troubleshooting SOP. I'm like, oh, go through the SOP. I'm like, oh shit, this is it. I fix it, and then they end up working. So it just really is to troubleshoot cold email campaigns. And because of this, your clients have better onboarding process, so they won't regret starting to work with you. They won't ask for refunds down the line since you showed that you are professional and treat them well. They have all the clarity in the world and feel confident about working with you. Clients will be a lot more tolerant even if there are roadblocks through the process. Even if you deliver subpar results, your clients will likely go longer with you and give you more chances to do a better job simply because you took the time to give them a good onboarding process. You just have a better connection with them if something goes wrong. You get great and predictable results for your clients that you're proud of. You build good case studies that you can leverage in your outreach via sales and sales calls. Word of mouth works for you instead of against you, and the referral machine starts building momentum and you start getting clients without doing any extra work. You make more money per client. You can confidently give out amazing no-brainer guarantees so you know that you can fulfill them. And by leveraging high-level case studies, every single remaining part of the business just becomes more effortless. This could be the only thing that you did well and better than everything else, and in itself, it will drive the business to higher levels than anything else. So this is everything. If you execute it correctly, you will make all the money you want. So key takeaways from this: by delivering a streamlined onboarding experience, you remove chances of buyer's remorse, and then structuring onboarding process in the most efficient way and using the exact same workflow every single time, you get happier clients that stay with you for a longer time, you get better results, and they are easier to work with. Also, a big advantage, if for some reason you're not immediately getting them good results, they have more patience and they have a better connection with you, so you're able to fix it. You're also able to systemize and automate the onboarding process way better since it always works the same ways. And because your onboarding process is systemized, you have a clear step-by-step service delivery workflow covering all possible problems, and it just ensures that you get stellar results for clients, which leads to higher lifetime value, better case studies, and more money. So, like I said, this is the most important element of the entire equation. If you can nail this part, you can pretty much get loose with everything else and you will still crush it. So this is the second last piece of the puzzle. And actually by just systemizing this phase for our lead generation agency and nailing it down really well, we have been able to work with just a few specific high quality clients for a long time because we get them really good results, so we get paid a lot and we know that they won't churn because we are getting them so good results. So for example, like I already showed, 17 qualified calls in 6 days, 25k service, and this was actually one of the most saturated niches, quote unquote. And we have also taught this system to our clients and they have been able to get excellent results with them. So for example, Daniel, he's getting like 7, 8 and 9 figure inbound referrals every month from his clients because he's just getting so good results. And here's also one of his 9-figure clients offered to build a separate company with him since he's providing so good results. And this shows what he was getting. We'll probably start a new company together with a client as a manager with a team of 5 with a salary of 120k per year plus stock dividend on 250k per year. So just by being really good at service delivery, he gets chances like this from like 9-figure clients, which is fucking crazy. And not only does this influence the rest of the flow, but it's ultimately what facilitates the last piece, which is basically scale. Without being good at what you actually do, you'll always stay stuck in the small leagues playing for scraps. But by systemizing your entire process and ensuring that you actually become good at what you do, you unlock the puzzle of the lead generation agency game. Get good at this and you'll never go broke again. When you dial in the onboarding and service delivery process in well, you're also able to tie everything together with a few simple automations and team members. Of course, it isn't something that you should be focusing in the beginning, but when you have the first 7 steps dialed in and they are proven to work, you can make running your agency less time consuming and you'll be able to focus more on the high leverage tasks to scale even further by doing so. We usually start focusing on this with our coaching clients when they approach the 10 to 20k mark, depending on how much they have time and what their workload looks like. And also one of the biggest mistakes that I see people make is when they try to scale their agency, they start creating a complicated Zapier automations, unclear SOPs, and like hiring incompetent VAs for $3 an hour that you need to manage and help every day. And because of that, the new shiny systems and automations that they just build up, they just end up breaking every single day. Profit margins drop below 60%, and because they're spending more time on managing systems and automations, results drop. The business becomes a nightmare to run and you just end up everything by yourself. So they just kill strong momentum by adding friction in their agencies and burn everything to the ground. So don't start to hire and automate too soon. But like I said, when you have the steps 6 and 7 well dialed in, it's gonna be pretty easy to scale by adding a few members. Here's a screenshot showing we have like a tech assistant, then we have a lead scraping team or just one lead scraper, and then we have inbox managers. And those 3 roles are like how we were able to scale to 44k a month and also do it pretty easily without having to like burn ourselves in the process. Now you might be asking, how do I make sure that clients have a good onboarding experience? 3 main points. First, communication. You need to communicate about everything that you're doing. This way the clients will always know what's happening and they'll know what you're working on to get them results. Second thing, your onboarding process needs to be a clear timeline. Every day needs to be structured and presentable for the client, and you and your client need to know what happens, when it happens, and who does it. This is the key. And then also efficiency. You need to be executing as fast as possible, show that they made a good decision and start getting them the small wins immediately. Send the contract immediately, book the onboarding call immediately, and do everything as fast as possible. They are like, oh shit, these guys are powerful. How long should the onboarding process be? Our lead generation agency onboarding process is 8 days. Of course, most of the work happens on our side, but we always present the time frame for the client so they understand everything that's happening. And we have optimized it a lot and made sure that this is the most efficient way to onboard new cold email lead generation agency clients and ensure that they get results. Basically, and it's a feedback loop. You onboard someone, you're like, oh shit, this doesn't work really well. So you go back and you change it and then you do it again. So it's again a feedback loop. You also might be asking, should I have an onboarding call with them or send them an onboarding form? Have a call always, way more personal, and you'll also make sure that you will get all the necessary information that you need. Deliver results. Most cases, what we have seen is if we send a form, you'll just get vague, generic answers that the client just quickly answers to, and you won't have enough information to get results. So do an onboarding call. Some of our onboarding calls have been 2 hours long because there has been so much information to dig through with the client, because that is like where you actually dig the information that you need to get results. As you can see, all you need to do is first pick a niche and dial it in. Second, create a benefit-focused niche-specific offer that matches your niche's awareness and sophistication levels. Third, build a funnel that connects your niche with the offer. Fourth thing, set up an outreach process to close clients. And fifth thing, onboard your new clients and deliver them good results. And you will be able to build an $18,000 a month lead generation agency in the next 4 weeks without having any case studies. Now, of course, there are a few ways to get to $18,000 a month with your lead generation agency. First being to keep doing what you have done up until now, buying low-priced courses, getting general advice, and just spinning your wheels, hoping something changes. But how much willpower do you really think that you can muster, and how much longer can you go without seeing any actual results? Also, by doing this, figuring everything out by yourselves, just fucking failing and trial and error and all of that stuff, the opportunity cost is enormous, since you could spend the months you spend on learning on actually making money. So let's say that you go through 6 months of just trying to do it yourself, learning, piecing together different Twitter pieces and YouTube videos and books and courses, and you spent that 6 months learning when you could have made 30k or 50k in those 6 months. So the cost is actually huge. So instead of you wasting that opportunity, you can work directly with agentvelocity.io. So us, follow the exact step-by-step introductions I'm gonna give you, sign your first client in less than 30 days and hit at least 10k a month in less than 90 days. So again, this is for aspiring lead generation agency owners who want to take control of their life, build a reliable lead generation agency, and make over $100,000 in the next 12 months by providing actual value to the market. It's also for existing lead generation agency owners who have been actively trying to get past the 10k a month mark for months but haven't been able to do so. This stuff actually fucking works. We have been able to take these frameworks and help people like Daniel Sanakard. Basically, when Daniel started working with us, he was working as a 9-to-5 sales rep, dreaming about running his own agency and just spending his days learning about cold email and building an agency and a business. He was just like learning, not executing because he didn't have clarity. But now 4 months later, he's working with 11 clients, making over 15k a month while working 4 hours a day from home. This was actually one of the first messages that he ever sent to us. What a day, 11 booked calls, and it's only day 2. So this was on the second day that he was in the program. He signed his second client after 22 days of working with us, 2k starting fee, 200 per call. Here he signed his third client for the same 2k plus 200 per call, 26 days after working with us. This is what he said after signing his 10th client. 10 clients is crazy when I think about it. Big shout out to Levi and Rob that is helping us every day to reach our goals. Where the fuck are we in 12 months? Daniel will be in the moon in 12 months. This is also a screenshot above showcases Daniel booking 4 calls for one of his clients for 300 euros each in 4 hours. This was actually funny. Daniel was super sick at home, couldn't speak. He couldn't take any meetings, but he was just replying to emails. So he made 1.2k by just replying to some emails in 4 hours that day. Here's also a sick message that Daniel sent. One of his clients called him, was like, yo, I really love how good results that you get. I'm gonna give you a few referrals. And then he just referred to him the 4 clients, and Daniel signed with them, made over 8,000 euros in starting fees and 200 to 300 euros per call booked for each one of those. Here's also booked 8 calls for one of his new clients in 2 days for starting campaigns with them. And this is also, we already went over this, got offered a partnership with one of his clients, 120k per year, 5-person team, and stock dividend of 250k per year. So as you can see, he's just signing clients, delivering amazing results. He will 100% sure make multiple 6 figures in the next 12 months from his agency and build a fantastic reputation in his niche. To be honest, he's already doing that, but it will just get better. So yeah, basically what we did when we started working with Daniel is when he came to the program, we just sat down, started creating a roadmap, started seeing like what goals do we need to hit so he's gonna be happy. I picked his niche and offer. We spent a few days on that. We were doing just market research, seeing what experiences have, what is the best niche for us to be in, what offer is gonna be the best for that niche. Created that, built a really simple funnel on a landing page, and then just focused on creating cold email campaigns. We got like 27 email accounts warmed up, so we had a lot of volume, and we launched campaigns. And because we had done so fucking good research, we booked 25 calls in the first 48 hours, which was fucking crazy. Then we just went over the sales process with Daniel and make sure that he closed all the leads. And after 70 days of working with us, he signed his first client. After 22 days, second client. After 26 days, third client. So he made over 6k without taking any performance fees into consideration in the first 26 days of working with us. Then we just made sure that his onboarding sequence is really seamless and that we are able to get him really good results, or his clients really good results, so we are able to build that case study up as quickly as possible. Now, 4 months after working with us, he has a really predictable system for service delivery, client acquisition, and onboarding. He has grown into this expert in cold email. His clients are really happy. He's getting huge referrals for them. He's spending like 4 hours a day on his agency, and he's making $15,000 a month with big plans for scaling with us. It has been fucking crazy. This is what Daniel said about working with us. Before I jumped on Agent Velocity with Levi, I worked as a sales rep, same company, same service, and had no plans. Just stack money and stay stuck at 9 to 5 I didn't enjoy. Past 4 months, I have learned in-depth stuff about cold email that would take me over 12 months to learn if I was doing it alone. Not only about cold emails, but I have also learned stuff about myself, as well as how to use myself as a resource and only focus on the high ROI task every single day. And now, 4 months later, I'm working with 11 clients. Just got 4 new clients through referral because of the amazing results I've generated for one of my clients. I have also 4 new projects that are launching during this and next month for my own service that I'm selling. Levi is amazing and truly a genius. It has been an honor to work with him, and he is also a really good friend that really cares about my success. Agent Velocity isn't just a coaching program, it is a movement. We are making huge progress together and everybody is just winning. Really fucking nice words from Daniel. Also guys like Wyatt, he was making $500 a month with his lead generation agency. Had been running it for like 4 weeks. I had one client that he got through a referral. Wasn't getting results for them, wasn't getting results for himself. Just a pain. And then after working with us for 11 weeks, he was able to hit the first $10,000 a month mark. Now he's working with different 8-figure companies, getting paid $1,000 every call he books, gets predictable results for his clients, and in general is amazingly happy and fulfilled. Here's what is sent to us after the first 48 hours of launching his campaign. 6 calls booked in 48 hours, already had 3 calls and have 2 verbal yeses. The third one also went well. Here's a screenshot of his first client that is signed after 3 days of launching his campaigns. Here's a screenshot of his second client closed after 6 days launching campaigns. Here's he booked a call with AOL with one of his clients, basically like Yahoo, 2.2 billion ARR, fucking crazy. Here a screenshot. He had 5 clients signed after 10 days of launching his own campaigns. First 10k a month in the books. 11 weeks after working with us, he's just fucking signing clients. It's just crazy. Story behind that, we went through and saw like what are his fucking like biggest roadblocks on his lead generation age right now, and it mainly was the niche and the offer, and he really didn't have a good funnel. And he also was missing a lot on like the cold email side itself. He didn't really understand how to make it work. So built all of that stuff in the beginning, got some more volume for his cold email campaigns, and then what we did is we took his niche and scraped good firms database on top companies via its niche and created a list from there. As you can see, we started going to work. For one of his clients, he built an 8-figure pipeline in 2 months, which will be a perfect case study, and with that case study we were able to scale with him a lot. This is what Wyatt said about working with Agent Velocity. I didn't know how to get to the next level, and I knew I needed guidance from someone who had already done this before. It wasn't sustainable to buy small courses, read guides on Twitter, and take any client that would come my way. I knew Levi was launching a coaching program, so I knew I needed to jump on the train. He's someone who's done this before, someone who has already given so much free value on Twitter. It was a no-brainer offer before I even hopped on a call with Levi. As soon as I got in, I could tell that this was gonna be the next level of a program. After a few months later, here we are, 10k a month. Oliver Scanlett also tried to run a social media marketing agency, providing Facebook ads for 2 years, wasn't getting it to work, was booking 1 to 2 meetings every 3 months, wasn't closing any deals. Top month was 1,000 euros during those 2 years. Then he made the decision to pivot to running a lead generation agency, but only booked 1 meeting, which ended up being a no-show, so wasn't really making it work. And then he started working with us on September 21st, 2022, and 35 days later, working with us, he made 13 to 17,000 euros. And now he has a waiting list of plus 20 high-quality companies waiting to work with him, so he can focus on delivering results to his clients and building fantastic case studies. This is one of the favorite screenshots that I have ever seen. Dude, what the fuck? I'm getting fucking spammed with positive replies. Legit can't keep up. Around 3 meetings booked so far, waiting for a reply of some of them still. This was the day he launched his first campaigns. These are the results after first day of running cold emails for his own agency. 81 to 85% open rate, 15% reply rate, 17 to 21 positive replies so far. He signed his first client for 5,250 euros, closed second client, closed the third client, This was fucking crazy. One Monday morning on October 17th, so a few weeks after he started working together, in the first hours of Monday, he made 4,750 euros by signing 2 clients. That was crazy. And he has been keeping signing clients. This is actually a screenshot of his cold email campaign. As you can see, 5,000 emails sent, 100% open rate, 28% reply rate, which is like fucking unbelievable. I have never seen that. Some great results for clients, 5k deals signed. Basically the story behind there is we were just again looking at what he has done for the past 2 years that isn't working. And the main problem that he had was also, like I already mentioned, the niche and the offer and the funnel and the messaging between that offer. He was just offering something to a niche that didn't really need it, and the way that he was offering it wasn't in a way that the niche would understand it. So we fixed that. We got a lot of volume and just fucking started killing it. We picked an amazing niche for him. Crafted a simple landing page. He created a really good video sales letter. He scraped like 15k leads. 32 email accounts formed up. We helped him write some copy. We wrote his cold emails with him. Generalized personalized lines based on location like I already showed you. A lot of volume, broad lead list. We did a few edits for the copy before launching, and then really long follow-up sequences. Then, for example, Joel Storer, before Joel started working with us, he was running an Amazon ad agency, making 5k a month, like revenue, struggling with service delivery and running a small margins, not taking home enough profit, so it was basically a mess. But he wanted to build a lead generation agency since he knew that it would be a 10 times better vehicle to hit his goals of $25,000 a month compared to running an advertising agency. And 4 weeks after working with us, he was making $18,000 a month from his lead generation agency. He went ham. First day of outreach, he just had to stop campaigns. He was getting too much positive replies. In the first 48 hours, signed this 7.5k starting fee deal, 550 per qualified call booked, closed another client for 11k setup fee, $10 million company, and now he's sitting at a bit over 20k a month after a few months of working with us. And then, for example, Brian, this is again a fucking crazy case. He was working as a 9-to-5 salesperson, always wanted to work for himself but never knew how to take the leap. Worked with us for 3 months, hit 16k in cash collected in December, working with 10 clients, quit his 9-to-5 and just fucking started building his dream. For years I had dreamed about working for myself but hadn't found a way that could scale well beyond my 9-to-5. Having followed Angel Velocity on Twitter for a while, they seem to have fresh take on lead gen and to be proven experts. I took a leap of faith, joined us, and within few months was able to exceed my previous income, and now it feels like the sky is the limit. Couldn't have done it without the Agent Velocity team. The whole community is super encouraging and positive, and the support you receive is invaluable. Best decision made all year. So we have a lot of these. Like as you can see, this is like a Google folder. We have like an unlimited amount of these screenshots of people just fucking winning. If we pick anything, like people just fucking winning, we have an unlimited amount of these screenshots. This stuff actually works. So what's gonna happen when you come in and when you start working with us? You'll be able to know exactly what will be the most profitable niche for you to go after. You'll also learn how to create offers, so no brainer. People will feel stupid saying no to them. You'll learn how to build funnels and qualification systems that will ensure you'll never speak to a bad prospect ever again. You'll have a video sales letter that pre-sells your prospects, so everyone who hops into a call with you is already interested in working with you. You'll be able to generate leads at a rate you have never seen before. You'll be able to systemize your entire acquisition process and not have to stress about anything. You will be closing at over 25%. You will plug and play my onboarding and service delivery systems to ensure that your clients get results and don't leave. You'll also learn how to hire the right people for your time to make sure you can scale your business smoothly and profitably. You'll be able to reach at least $10,000 a month in less than 90 days if you execute properly, and you will finally feel confident, fulfilled, and excited about your agency since you have a predictable roadmap and method to scale with it. You might be asking, how does it work, Levi? So before, when you wanted to find the best niche and most profitable niche, you would have to do a bunch of research without any idea of what industries resonate with lead generation offers right now, what are the pain points, and if it plays in their experiences and advantages. But now you can work with us and use our niche picking framework and training. Plus you will jump on a 60-minute one-on-one call with me where I'll pick the niche with you based on your unique advantages and based on what we know works well right now. This way you'll start off with the best possible niche niche right off the bat. This also increases the likelihood that you'll succeed as fast as possible, so you don't have to miss out on a lot of potential because you don't know what the best way to do market research, the best industries right now, and what works with your background. So I will just fucking help you with getting a sick niche. Also, before, when you wanted to craft an irresistible lead generation agency offer, you would have to do it yourself based on information that everyone else has seen online, no clear structures, or just a generic offer that doesn't really match your niche's market awareness and sophistication level or pain points at all. But now what you can do is you can work with agentvelocity.io, so us, and use our offer structures and offer training, and you'll also hop on a 60-minute one-on-one call with me where we craft you an offer that matches your niche and your goals perfectly. Because we already know what offers and timeframes and guarantee and prices works, so you'll just have a clear roadmap and understanding your offer. This way you don't really have to risk wasting a lot of time and doing a lot of useless work on your funnel, your VSL, your cold emails and calls just to find out your offer doesn't resonate with your niche, and you also don't need to take any risks making an offer that you can't fulfill. I will just give you the frameworks, I will give you the training, I will hop on a call with you, we'll figure out what are the best results, what are the best timeframes, what is the market sophistication level, what is the awareness level, all of that stuff, and we will pick your really fucking banger niche, and we will have a roadmap on dialing it in throughout the process. Also, before, when you want to create a high converting funnel with a nurturing VSL, you would have to build your funnel yourself using templates you have seen online. Of course, building the actual landing page is easy and simple, so you will probably be able to do that, but trying to create the VSL yourself increases the risk of missing out on a lot of revenue since your VSL is unclear, doesn't light up your prospects, and does a bad job nurturing. But now what you can do is you can just work with us and use our VSL and landing page scripts and templates. We'll also overview, give feedback, and edit your landing page and video sales server until it's perfect for recording. So this way you don't have to waste any time or potential revenue since your VSL is crafted the right way to connect your niche with your offer, and also your cold email campaigns will work way better and you can just jump on calls with pre-sold prospects and reap the rewards. Also, before, when you want to build a predictable lead generation machine for your agency, you would have to learn cold email by yourself from Twitter, YouTube, or low price courses, and use cold email templates that everyone else has used, and you would just end up reaching out to low quality leads with the same templates that everyone else uses and spending a lot of time and money in the campaigns to book one call from 1,000 leads. But now what you can just do is you can just work with agentvelocity.io, use our already proven cold email structure. We used to generate over 3 million in revenue for us and our clients. You'll get the best ways to scrape your leads for your niche, your structures on how to write email copy, and tutorials on how to set up everything. You will also have me and my team's one-on-one support. We help you overcome all obstacles. We edit your cold emails, we review your cold emails, we create your campaign strategy, we do A/B testing schedules for you so your campaigns always perform, and we just help you get results for your clients. So before, when you wanted to build a predictable step-by-step sales process that lets you close at 25%, you would try learning a more efficient sales framework yourself by reading books or watching YouTube videos and just taking calls. But you'd end up missing a lot of potential revenue since you're just building your process from scratch and ending up getting objections like, I have to think about it, and spending time chasing after prospects since you don't really know the small nuances on how to prevent this. But now what you can just do is you can work with agentvelocity.io, get our step-by-step 2-call sales process, pre-made objection handlers, weekly sales training, and one-on-one role play twice a week on the sales process. We'll also audit your sales calls for bottlenecks if needed, so there's really no way that you'll fail at sales. This way you can start closing immediately when you start generating calls, and you can extract the maximum amount of revenue from the calls you book while not having to spend time with custom proposals and painful follow-ups and all of that stuff. Also, before, when you wanted to build an onboarding process that sets the right expectations with your clients and ensures that you get results, you would have to build your own onboarding process or get a pre-made onboarding process from low-priced courses. This of course increases the risk of churning clients faster and having an unclear onboarding process since it isn't tailor-made for your own offer and agency structure. But now what you can just do is you can work with us, get our framework for building the most effective possible onboarding process for your offer, and get your own step-by-step process. You also have one-on-one support to ensure your onboarding goes as well as it possibly can. So this way you can just build an onboarding process that matches your exact needs in your agency and start delivering an amazing customer experience starting from your first client. You'll be set up for better results, and onboarding is easier and more systematic. Also, before, when you want to deliver results for lead generation clients, you don't have to do it yourself with the information that you already have. You could also buy a lot of low price courses or hire low quality VAs or white label partners to fulfill for you. To be honest, it would take months to find a good service delivery workflow, so you end up delivering bad results for most of the time, not having any predictability since everything is just freestyling. You're just freestyling on everything. You'll churn clients, feel like a scammer, get refunds, and miss out on a lot of money since you're not able to get paid for your performance in the beginning. But no, you can just work with us, get access to our code, email, assets, and training, plus our service delivery workflow, plus our troubleshooting SOPs, while having one-on-one access to me and my team. So you'll be able to get help with every single client and have us edit and give feedback on your emails and troubleshoot problems in your client campaigns if anything comes up. This way, you have the best possible chance to deliver amazing results for your clients as quickly as possible, build those amazing case studies, and get paid big performance payments quickly. We'll also help you hire and train your new team members when you need to scale, and we will just help you get like fucking A players in their agency. If you wanted to do this all by yourself, you'd have to go through months of learning via trial and error, buy tens of different courses, spend tens of thousands on coaches, and lose your mind over it. We are only a small fraction of the cost while taking you there way faster and easier. So all you need to do is book a call with one of our customer success managers from agentvelocity.io/call, or you can just click the link or button below this video. Keep in mind that we only onboard 10 people every month because it is a highly personalized process for everyone, and we want to make sure that everyone that comes in gets the one-on-one attention needed. And also, of course, I back everything up with a guarantee, meaning if you don't make more money than you have paid us in the first 92 days, you are eligible for a 100% refund. Just check the button below this video and book a call if you want to start building your own lead generation agency. You also might have some questions in mind, so I'll just go ahead and answer those. First of all, this offer seems great, but it sounds like it's expensive. I don't know if I have the budget for it. I 100% know that the initial investment of starting something new can always seem daunting, but instead of seeing it as an expense, you need to see it as an investment. If you make $100,000 in the next 12 months with our program, it will change your life. So compared to the price of the program, it's basically free. And also, it's a pretty great investment because it is ROI guaranteed, meaning that you won't be able to lose money with us since we have the 92-day guarantee. Most of our clients double or triple their investment in the first 92 days. So it's actually a pretty good investment to make. I don't have time to start building a lead generation agency right now. Totally understand that, but the truth is that by building a business will always be hectic in the beginning. If you're unable to do it while busy, you will probably never be able to do so. But starting now, even if you're busy, you can take things step by step and gradually build your agency. Also, imagine if you start 6 months later, how frustrating will it feel starting then, when in the back of your head you know that if you started now, at this exact moment, you'd already be at $10,000 a month minimum. So yeah, don't procrastinate on starting. Will this work for me if I'm from X country? Yes, if you have computer and internet access, it will work for you as long as you put in the work. You have people all around the world, US, Latin America, Europe, UK, India, China, Australia, Nepal, Canada. Everyone's fucking crushing it. So it doesn't really matter where you're from. If you have a computer and internet, it will work. Is lead generation saturated? Great question, but it's not. Like I already talked about in the beginning, a case study by HubSpot showcases that 63% of business owners say that their biggest struggle is lead generation. The only way you'll suffer from saturation is if you send the exact same cold emails to the same market with the same offer that the others are using. So we'll show you how to adapt and think outside the box and find market trends and pains you're able to solve so you will never suffer from saturation. How much does it cost to run the systems you teach me to build? It will cost around $200 a month minimum. Of course, you can spend more to speed things up, but we have literally had guys to take a loan to start working with us, and they start from zero, basically from minus, and then they're making $5,000 the next month. So you're able to for sure come up with creative ways to work with your budget, but at least $200 a month. Also remember that when I started with lead generation, I was dead broke, and that's also one of the main reasons why I love the business model. It is cheap to get started with. What if I have already tried running a lead generation agency and it didn't work? To be honest, you were probably doing it wrong. There's a lot of small nuances and big strategic things that you need to consider when building and running a lead generation agency. Most likely your niche and offers weren't picked right, and you were approaching them in a way that didn't resonate with them. So like we have just had guys that come in who have tried to run a lead generation agency for months without any results, and after we have fixed a few small things, their agency has blown up. What if I'm going to school or working at a 9 to 5? You'll of course have to squeeze out some longer days, but the systems will teach you won't take more than 2 to 3 hours in the beginning. When you start seeing traction and closing more clients, you can either pull through long days, start outsourcing and automating, or you can just quit and go full time on your agency. All of those options just work. We have seen all of them done in the program. What if I don't have any sales experience? The niche, the offer, and the VSL will do most of the heavy lifting. If those are dialed in, you don't have to be a killer sales guy to close deals. We'll also teach you our 2-step sales process, show you how to overcome all possible objections in calls. We legit have like every single possible objection written down. We'll do one-on-one role play twice a week and audit your sales calls if needed. You will 100% sure close. There's no doubt about it. How fast can I start getting results? 17 days if you're starting from scratch, but if you already have something set up yourself and we think it's going to work, then less. We have had people who close 5k deals after 3 days of joining since they take action immediately. Main variable again on the speed of success is your own work ethic and how fast you execute. But yeah, it's not something that will get you rich overnight, but just from the sheer experience we have had, we're able to get you quick wins. How long do you think it will take to scale past 10k, 20k, 30k, whatever it might be? All depends on how much work you put in and how badly you actually want it. I scaled my own agency to 44k a month in 6 months. We have had people hit 10k a month in the first month they work with us, but these results are not easy results to get. But when your foundations are built right, only sky is the limit. Then it's just about how well you execute and how you take action. But if my English is bad, actually, funny fact, most of the people inside the program aren't native in English. I'm from Finland. When I started out, my English was horrible. You learn as you're taking calls with prospects and also as you're taking calls with us. And also it matters way less than you think. If your offer is good and the niche wants it, they won't care if you pronounce words wrong or say something that doesn't make sense. How long does the program last? You will have access to us and the community for 12 months and you will have access to the materials for a life. What happens after 12 months? Totally up to you. If you want to keep working with us, you'll have the ability to continue the coaching for a discounted price, but after 12 months, you will be 100% capable of running your agency on your own. We basically teach you everything in a way that lets you learn the principles and foundations so you won't be depending on us. Do I get a one-on-one session with you? Yes, we will pick your niche and craft your offer together in one-on-one sessions. Also, my main goal is just to make it successful, so if needed, we'll jump on more one-on-one calls down the line. The whole team we have is here to make you win, so we will do whatever it takes to do that. Is there support calls? How many of those are there? Right now, 5 calls a week. We are adding more as demand grows, and they are scheduled around different times, so no matter your time zones, you will be able to join the most important ones for your progress. Is this a course? No, it's not a course. We have pre-recorded materials, but it is not a course. It's basically a combination of a coaching program and a mastermind. We'll like legit create you personalized modules if needed. Only thing that really matters is your success. How long does it take to get feedback from you/your team? Usually a few hours, maximum 24. If you send some messages or want something received on holidays, it can take a bit longer, but we're going through everyone's private channels for at least 10 hours every day combined. What if I don't know what niche to pick or what offer to create? Least of your worry. When you work with us, I'll help you with everything. We have proven frameworks. We will pick your really good niche and offer. What if it does not work? The only reason why it wouldn't work is if you suddenly give up, disappear, and quit your agency. We have done this so many times, it's not possible that it won't work. Of course, no matter what business you're building, there always will be unexpected problems that you need to overcome. That's why you have us, so you're able to troubleshoot those things immediately, so you don't end up getting stuck, spinning your wheels, and getting demotivated. But if I can't show up to the support calls, nothing to worry about. The support calls aren't necessary for your success. We have people inside who have never joined a single call and are still making over 10k a month. They are just for people who want extra clarity and help. Those are not necessary for your success. You will have one-on-one personalized support from us, and you will also get call recordings if needed. How does the guarantee work? If you go through everything we planned for you, listen to our advice, and actually execute, and still don't make your money back in the first 92 days, you will be entitled for a 100% refund. But if I'm already making money with a lead generation agency, that's great. If you're under 50k a month, we will help you make more money by doing less work. We have people inside who have already been running successful agencies, but wanted to learn extra tips and tricks for scaling the agency and making it easier for one. But if I'm a complete beginner, can I still join? 100%. We'll make sure that the experience is personalized for you and that you actually understand the business model and concepts around it as quickly as possible. How do I know that you guys are legit? At the time of writing this, we have worked with over 80 people on this and have gotten amazing results. Our success rates in the programs are one of the best in the industry. I have also done this myself and documented and shared my journey online for my followers to see. Main factor is my personal brand. It means way more to me than any financial gain. So if for some some reason it doesn't end up working for you, I'll honor our guarantee and refund you everything. Just looking at our results, that is fairly unlikely that it won't work. We are really fucking good at this point. And the last thing that you might be wondering, why are you doing this? 3 main reasons. First, satisfaction that I get from making sure that someone doesn't have to struggle for 5 years, as I did. It's life-changing. Personal growth, I've gone through doing this over and over again with different people is huge. I've learned a lot of new concepts about running a lead generation agency, coaching and building a company through this time. So that's also a main motivation for me. And third thing, community. The community that we have built already is amazing. Online business can be really lonely. If nobody else in your close circle really gets what you're doing, it can feel lonely. Like you can't really talk about cold email to all of your friends. If you can, you're really lucky, but the community is a huge motivation for me. So if you're interested in working with us, scaling your lead generation agency fucking hard and joining the most comprehensive lead generation agency program, you just click the button below and book a call with me or someone from our success team, and I'll see you inside.